This broadcast will begin in 5 minutes. This broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. This broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. This broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. This broadcast will begin in 1 minute. This broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
He's going to take it himself for a championship. A double play wins it for free. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. McKay, it's on. Touchdown.
Into the layup goes at the buzzer.
Wins it. The championship.
This broadcast is a production of the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Good evening from Buccaneers Stadium. Tonight, the WJPA Sports Network presents Black Hills Conference Football as the two-time defending WPIL champions, the Fort Cherry Rangers, visit the Bucks of Chartiers-Houston. Hi, everyone. I'm Nate Brigatti on the call tonight. Bill Duquette will join me in just a moment. Fort Cherry kicks off its conference schedule undefeated at 3-0 with routes of Northgate, Our Lady of the Sacred Heart, and West Green. In those three non-conference wins, the Rangers have outscored their opponents a whopping 144-14. A win tonight would mean 32 straight wins against WPIL opponents. It will be a tough feat tonight for the Chartiers-Houston Buccaneers, which have started the season 2-1. A loss to Jefferson Morgan in Week 0, but wins against Springdale and Mapletown. Last week, the Bucks had to overcome a 28-13 third-quarter deficit, but showed resiliency in their win over the Maples, scoring 22 unanswered to secure the win. Tonight's game on the WJPA Sports Network is brought to you by the Washington County College Center, operated by the Community College of Beaver County, by the Day Insurance Agency on East Main Street in Washington, on Main Street in Hickory, online dayinsurance.com, celebrating more than a half-century of service. By Quality Quick Printing, your Team Spirit printing headquarters since 1978. Online at qualquick.com. By Alex Paris Contracting, a commitment to quality and service exceeding expectations. By Curtis Pharmacy in Washington, Claysville, Connellsville, Carmichaels, and online at curtispharmacy.com. By Washington Financial Bank, for 125 years, proud to be the bank that gets you. By Sunny Days In-Home Care, providing compassionate care in the comfort of home. SunnyDaysInHomeCare.com. By the Imperial Land Corporation, supporting the Fort Cherry Rangers. By the Washington Green Chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, celebrating our region's rich athletic tradition. By Slovenian Savings and Loan, big enough to serve, small enough to care. By Washington County Human Services, take the first step toward a healthier life. Call 724-228-1234. By Schwanebrotten Bus Lines, the shiniest school buses in town, and they're looking for drivers like you. And by CNX Dreamfields, making your dream field come true. In tonight's pregame show, we'll break down this matchup between Fort Cherry and Chartiers-Houston, make a visit to Coach's Corner to talk with both head coaches, and look at the games in the Black Hills Conference in Washington County and around the region. This is the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Radio and TV today are cluttered with ads for car insurance. You might find these ads clever, funny, or even annoying. Hi, I'm Scott Day from the Day Insurance Agency. We like to keep things simple. We will give you the best possible coverage at the best possible price with great hometown service without all those gimmicks. Call us to get a free no-obligation quote with Erie Insurance. You might be surprised how much you can save. That's the Day Insurance Agency, 724-228-3448, or online at dayinsurance.com.
Since 1978, Quality Quick Printing has been a single source for all your business, organization, and corporate printing needs. a full-service digital document solution center, high-speed digital copying, large format, design and finishing, direct mail services, and so much more. Call their print solutions specialists to help with your next project, 724-225-9427, or visit qualquick.com.
Back here at Buccaneers Stadium, Nate Rigotti alongside Coach Bill Duquette. Bill, always glad to have you with you, with me, my friend.
Pleasure to be here.
Maybe if I can get it out of my mouth. Great game we have for you tonight between Chartiers-Houston and Fort Cherry. It's a rivalry game. You'll hear in Coach's Corner later that there's some people that wish that this game was at the end of the season, not so much at the beginning.
Well, these two schools play each other in about every sport that they have, and whenever you have a situation where you have a built-in rivalry in terms of proximity and in terms of competitiveness, that's where it's going to be. It's what you want in high school, anything. Whether it's volleyball or football, doesn't matter.
Some distinguished alumni being awarded on the field for Chartiers-Houston before tonight's game. Chartiers-Houston, great comeback win last week to defeat Mapletown, 35-28. Trailed in that game, 28-13 late. Showed some resiliency in that game, but how about the Buccaneers being able to step up and really play a great fourth quarter to come back and get that win against Mapletown on the road?
Well, it's a credit to the kids, but number one, but it's also a credit to the coaching staff. They've done a pretty good job in terms of getting them competitive. They're building each year. This is his second year as a head coach, and to be able to do that, come back, gives the kids some belief not only in themselves, but it also gives them some belief in the coaching staff to get them in those situations where they can be successful.
Fort Cherry coming off a 55-8 win, and that's only in the first half. That's a game that Fort Cherry put up 55 points before halftime. There were storms last week. There were a bunch of games called early or postponed or had a lightning delay at some point. But those teams, they came back out of the locker room at halftime. It was lightning. It's starting to rain. They said, you know what, it's 55-8. The lightning's out here. Let's just send everybody home.
Yeah, the secret to a I want to put this the right way, to a winning season and a great record is scheduling. They got that taken care of. They scheduled that storm so they didn't have to worry about getting anybody hurt, after it was over with. But they're a juggernaut right now. They've scored a lot of points. They've gotten a lot of confidence. They've won like 33 in a row in the Whippeal. So they have an idea of what they have. They know what they need to do. They've been through the wars before, and this is just another one tonight.
So other games locally in the Black Hills Conference tonight to go along with ours. Burgettstown at Cornell. There's a lot of people talking about that Cornell team that might really try to challenge a Bishop Canevin or a Fort Cherry in this Black Hills Conference. Both Cornell and Bishop Canevin last year, when Fort Cherry was dominating, both had 9 wins. Everybody's watching Cornell.
Well, the Black Hills Conference is as competitive of a conference in single A as you can get in the entire state, from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And that's it's always a tough road to hoe when you're a middle of the road team trying to make the playoffs and just get in, let alone worry about winning records and things like that. They just want to get in and see what happens.
Talk about this conference. Last year, Cornell, WPIL quarterfinalist a year ago. Bishop Canevin was the number 3 seed and reached the semifinals before losing to Clareton. And, of course, Fort Cherry beat Clareton in the championship game, a comeback win for the Rangers, that one at Acrisure Stadium. Other games tonight in the area. Up at 3A, Western Hills Conference, McGuffey is at Central Valley. McGuffey coming off a pretty big loss last week. 2A Century Conference, Charleroi is at Seton LaSalle, that game being played at Dormont Stadium. And our other game on the WJPA Sports Network tonight, this game being played on 95.3 FM. Washeye, the Little Prexies, make the trip down 79 to Waynesburg. That game has a lot of potential to decide the 2A Century Conference. Throw in what Seton LaSalle does there, and maybe if Waynesburg could beat Washington tonight, that could be a great battle for the Century Conference?
Well, they did it last year, I think, and I'm sure they feel that hey, we were competitive last year. We're rebuilding a little bit, but we got a pretty good team. Let's see what we can do this year.
1A Tri-County Southwest Green visits the Avella Eagles tonight. Bentworth is at California. Carmichael's is at Beth Center. That game over on our partners at greensports.net. Jason Tennant, we're down there. He and I were down there tonight to set up all of that equipment for the crew at Beth Center. Jefferson Morgan is at Mapletown. I want to take a moment to talk about these Rockets because, boy, are they making the newspapers right now. Deacon DeHoot and the Rockets have been really, really, really good. They're going to make a run for a Tri-County South title.
I've not seen Jeff Morgan play, so all I can go by is their one-loss record. Pretty good.
Yeah, 3-0. They'll take it. They'll take it. Non-conference action tonight in Washington County. Armstrong visits the Big Macs of Cannon Mac. Peters Township is at Trinity in non-conference action. And Ringgold makes the trip to Westmoreland County to take on Greensburg-Salem. We'll step aside. When we come back, I'll be down on the field with our head coaches. We have interviews with both Dan Liss and Tanner Garry. We'll be back in a moment here on the pregame show on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
Alex Paris Contracting has been in business since 1928. They're in the heart of the Marcellus Shale on Route 18 in Atlasburg. Call Alex Paris for any contracting job, sewer, water, civil, or any oil and gas project. With over 600 pieces of heavy equipment, over 400 employees, all support equipment, and separate environmental company, they'll adapt and complete any project. Call Alex Paris Contracting, 724-947-2235. Learn more at alexparis.com.
This is Eric Cushy from Curtis Pharmacy. We don't sign every insurance contract out there. We don't participate in every network. And what we've come to realize is if we take our invoice cost on generic drugs, add a fair dispense fee, we can save you money depending on the medication. No insurance, no middlemen. You have a prescription, you pay us, you're done. If you take generic drugs, this program's for you. Go to our website at curtispharmacy.com, click the Dare to Compare link, and feel free to look up your medication, see how much we could save you.
You deserve a bank that lifts up your business, that shares your spirits and your taste for success. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on crafting solutions that are as one of a kind as your business is. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the WJPA Sports Network. Now inside Coach's Corner with Fort Cherry head coach Tanner Garry. Coach, thanks so much for joining me. 3-0 to start the season. What have you learned in the first 3 weeks?
You know, there's always things you have to try to find a way to improve on. So far, getting 3 wins is always the main goal. But, as a team that, you want to grow, you always have to find something that, to improve on. That's what we've been preaching to the kids. Can't just be happy with the wins. Have to always try to find some way to improve every week.
Back-to-back WPIL championships. Conference play starts tonight. What does that mean to your team, and what's the message in the locker room?
Yeah, I tell them all the time, we don't have the luxury of, might not even look at it as a luxury, but, in our conference, every single week you're going to have a battle. Chartiers-Houston, rivalry game, the Canavans, the Cornells, the Mennesons, the Sarah, you can go down the whole list. There's a meaningful game every week. So I think this is a great way to set the tone for our year, understanding that our conference is going to be a gauntlet, and, if you come out of it on top, you definitely earned it.
Matt Sigg's been pretty special to watch. What's it been like just for you to spend time with him and coach him?
Yeah, you kind of run out of things to say after a while, to be honest with you. He's a kid that has just, exceeded our expectations in every aspect of the word. I mean, he's someone that gets better every single year. He gets better every day. And there's a reason he's going to be, playing ball on Saturdays. It's because of his work ethic, type of kid he is. And we're just happy to have him here for one more year.
How hard is it to keep the seniors focused on this team, or is it hard at all? You guys have fallen in the state playoffs to get over that hump.
Yeah, we have to. We know that there's a hump that we're trying to get over, and these kids are mature enough to understand that you don't just shoot for that and then hope you get there. You have to take care of each week one at a time, and hopefully come together as a team as that year goes on, and hopefully you're hitting stride at the right point. So we're focused on the games ahead of us, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
What do you know about this Chartiers-Houston team?
Well coached. Danny and I go way back. He's a kid that I played against in high school when I was at Fort Cherry and he was here. I knew whenever they hired him, they made a great decision. He's someone that's going to get the most out of his kids. They have a really, really good core group of kids that are really playing hard for him. So I think that we're going to have a hard-fought game here tonight. I'm excited to see kind of how we stack up, and just looking forward to it.
Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Head coach of Fort Cherry, Tanner Garry, here on the WJPA Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment. This is WJPA presented by the CNX Foundation.
We go into individuals' homes and provide non-medical care for mainly senior citizens, but also people with disabilities.
For Sunny Days In-Home Care, John Bennett.
We do stuff like bathing, grooming, meal preparation, take people to doctor's appointments. If someone needs a little bit of assistance to help them stay in their home instead of going into a facility, and we like to come in and be the people that do that for them.
Sunny Days In-Home Care, providing compassionate care for your loved one in the comfort of their home. Find out more, sunnydaysinhomecare.com.
Imperial Land Corporation is proud to be developing real estate in Washington and Allegheny counties. Over 3,000 acres can accommodate any size development. The nearly 900-acre Fort Cherry Development District along PA 576 is prime commercial real estate minutes from the Pittsburgh Airport and I-79. Visit imperialland.com or call 412-424-0495 for development opportunities. Good luck to the Fort Cherry Rangers from Imperial Land Corporation.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the WJPA Sports Network. In Coach's Corner now with Chartiers-Houston head coach Dan Liss. Coach, thanks so much for joining me. Great comeback win last week over Mapletown. Take me through that whole experience for your team.
Yeah, so I think the first thing is when you go down to Greene County to play a game like that, you expect it's going to be kind of a tough game to win. We've been down to Greene County a couple times the past year and a half, and it's a difficult time down there. We did not expect to have ourselves down, 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but what I will say is you find out a lot about your team when you're down 3 touchdowns. All right, and I think the way they dug deep, specifically the offensive line and Aaron Walsh and Jake Luba, it was impressive, especially when you have one of your receivers going down in Tegan Bogdan early in the game. That kind of stunk for us. So deep down, we know we have an injured player. We're just trying to get out of there as healthy as possible. And then for us to just run the ball kind of at will in the second half like that and just kind of get that. They were so tired. They were cramping. We were like, we're definitely the more in-shape team. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. The only people that were stopping us were ourselves. And so once we got a couple of defensive stops and turnovers, then I think that was kind of the swing in the game to help us get over that bump.
What do you have to do in the first half to make sure you don't put yourself in that situation?
Start intense. You got to be physical against a team like Fort Cherry. You got to come out physical. If you can't match a team's intensity, or if you can't elevate above their intensity, it's going to be a long night. Doesn't matter who the opponent is, whether it's Fort Cherry or we'll just say ourselves, okay? So it's intensity and coming out physical.
What's your message in the locker room when these kids are looking at the 2-time defending WPIAL champions on their schedule on a Friday night?
I'll tell you what, I listen to a lot of motivational things myself, and one of the coaches I look to a lot is Nick Saban. And playing at W&J local to here under Sirianni, you tend to remember a lot of things that he said to you in the big games, and the biggest thing I think that Nick Saban and Sirianni both think is trust the process. It's all about the process, not the results. And you're going to have to take it one play at a time, one snap at a time, one quarter at a time. You can't just go into this type of game thinking, all right, we're trying to win this game, let's win it. It's how are we going to try to win it? What are we going to do that is going to help us in the first quarter? What are we going to do in the second quarter after the first quarter ends? So it's just taking it one step at a time. The process is way more important than the result.
Always exciting to kick off conference play.
Right.
Should be fun. I mean, you've got 2-time defending WPL champions here, but I mean, conference play means a lot, even early on.
Yeah, so I told the kids that we start Black Hills Conference, and I tell people, our conference, maybe outside of one of those 4A conferences right now, is the toughest conference in all the classifications. But I do tell the kids this should be an end-of-the-year game. This matchup when I was here was always at the end of the season, and that's how it should be. So starting off the conference play with them is exciting as well. But again, just one game at a time, and we know this is Black Hills Conference Game 1. That's what's on my game papers tonight, so that's how I'm going to treat it.
Coach, what you got to do to put up some points tonight and get a win?
Be disciplined, be accountable when things might not go your way. All right, find a way to make the next play better than the last play. That's what we got to do.
My partner up there, Bill Duquette, said to wish you luck as well. He's always
tell
rooting
Bill,
for his presidents.
Yeah, tell Bill thank you, and I see BJ up there too, so hopefully he's rooting for us tonight too.
Thanks. Good luck tonight,
All right,
Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Dan Liss of the Chartiers-Houston Buccaneers will be back on the pregame show in just a minute here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
This is Coach Guy Montecalvo for the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, here to invite you to become a member of our chapter and help celebrate the stories of these outstanding athletes, coaches, and teams. For just $10, you'll have the opportunity to vote for respected athletes, coaches, and teams of yesteryear as we recognize these sports figures for their contributions to our rich athletic tradition. We're the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. Find us online or hit us up on Facebook and be a part of something exceptional.
Slovenian Savings and Loan is here for your life, your future, and your dreams. While life's pace seems to get faster and faster, Slovenian Savings and Loan still stands by its traditional values of honesty, integrity, and building personal relationships. Enjoy all modern conveniences to make banking easy, combined with a down-to-earth, face-to-face way of doing business. Slovenian Savings and Loan on Boone Avenue in Strabane. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Chartiers-Houston band making its way out onto the field here at Buccaneers Stadium in their famous CH. Look at that. That's really impressive. You and I were talking, Bill, before we got on the air. Chartiers-Houston band for a small school, they're pretty great.
Well, they have a lot of kids. They work hard, and I'm not just saying that because I have 3 grandkids in the band. But, it helps.
Makes it enjoyable
for
you.
They got 3 kids from one family. I mean, God, you don't get any better than that.
National anthem coming up here at Buccaneers Stadium. Let's listen in and show it to you here on the WJPA Sports Network. A beautiful rendition of the national anthem here by the Chartiers-Houston Buccaneer Marching Band. Do want to mention as we kick off Black Hills Conference play tonight, a couple of other games that I didn't get to mention. Monessen is at Sarah Catholic tonight in Black Hills Conference play. And in non-conference, Bishop Canevin is playing tomorrow evening against Laurel. So, Fort Cherry and Chartiers-Houston getting set to kick off Black Hills Conference play, Bill. Let's just be honest about it. It's a tough task tonight for the Buccaneers.
Well, there's no question. It's going to be an uphill battle. They have to win the line of scrimmage early and often, they certainly. The task is tough, but you got to be competitive. And what they're trying to do, I think if they're competitive, through that first half, adrenaline kind of takes over, and then anything can happen. That's for sure. So it's going to be interesting to see how the game starts, see who can control the line of scrimmage early, and see who can make plays and not make the big mistake.
The Rangers return all 3 of their running backs from a season ago in Ryan Huey, in Salvini, Christian Ionesco. All of them had a couple of 100 yards last year. They combined rushing 1,600. That doesn't include what Matt Sig had. By the way, what a special player that Matt Sig really is.
Well, you know, the fact that he runs faster than anybody else on the field certainly really helps him. And he's highly recruited because of his success, because of his toughness. He's a special player. He reminds me a little bit of Derek Bonner, that was down in Mapletown and ended up at Penn State, coincidentally. You know, it's a blessing to have a guy like that when you're on the coaching staff, because he can do things that other kids can't. But from all indications, he's a great kid, a good leader, and does the things that you want him to do in terms of controlling the football, taking care of it, doing the things you ask him to do.
See him right there on your screen wearing number 3, rallying his troops. Right next to him, another one of his senior teammates in Evan Rogers. First play of the game last week against West Green, 47-yard touchdown pass, one play, and they were on the board. It was a pass to that man, Evan Rogers. A little bit of a new receiving core for SIG this year with the graduations of Shane Cornally and Braden Cook, but the Rangers have started right where they left off a season ago, donning their white uniforms with the red stripe down the side, the red numbers, and the red helmets. The Rangers have taken the field here at Chartiers-Houston. Now, these Buccaneers, they had a 0-10 season in 2023. Dan Liss came back last year. They put up 3 wins on the board. You got to be thinking, how do we get to 4 or 5 or 6 wins on a season now as they continue to build this program?
Well, normally whenever a head coach takes over a new program, you're looking at a 3-year plan, even in high school. So he's in the second year of a rebuilding plan. He's got a lot of young kids that are playing. They lost a good young one last week in terms of Tegan Bogdan, who's a wide receiver, and he's also their kicker. So that's something to watch tonight. I think Tommy DeZora will be taking over the kicking duties that he had during the course of the first 3 games. So, here we are.
Buccaneers make their way onto the field now through the tunnel of cheerleaders and band members in their maroon jerseys with the golden numbers and white helmets. We'll step aside one more time as the captains get set to head out there for the coin toss. We'll step aside, we'll come back, tell you who wins this coin toss, give you the captains, and we'll kick off Black Hills Conference play. This is the pregame show on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
Friday Night Lights brings our communities together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm County Commissioner Nick Sherman, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential hotline today at 724-228-1234. Together we can fight addiction and build a strong future for Washington County. 724-228-1234.
Join the team at Schweinebraten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebraten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebraten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
My dream field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My dream field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My dream field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
Captains out there on the field right now for the coin toss. Captains for the Chartiers-Houston Buccaneers. You see Dom Andrioli, as well as Jake Luba, who's going to run the ball tonight. Have offensive lineman, the senior Owen Strait, and the quarterback Aaron Walsh. We talked about Matt Sig, but this offense for Chartiers-Houston will run through Aaron Walsh. He's the Observer Reporter Athlete of the Week this week. He had last week 198 yards rushing. Couldn't get those 2 more. 198 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, 73 yards in the air in that comeback win if Chartiers-Houston's going to put points on the board tonight, it runs through number 6.
Well, the fact of the matter is their whole offense is quarterback-centric, and everything goes through the quarterback irregardless. He can throw the football down the field, but his biggest strength so far this year has been able to put the ball under his arm when it breaks down or when he's on the edge and get yardage with his legs. So he's going to have a busy night trying to make yardage, trying to get yardage, and hopefully he gets some help from his receivers and the running backs.
Brody McCreary with 6 receptions for 87 yards this year. Luba, 21 rushes, 155 yards on the season for the Chartiers-Houston Buccaneers offense. Fort Cherry, because of the way they've outscored their opponents 144-14 this season, their offensive numbers aren't eye-popping quite yet. Matt Sig, 12 for 17, though, 71% completion rate, 302 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's been slinging the ball around to a couple of guys. Evan Rogers, he has 3 touchdowns on 4 receptions. Landon Travansky with 2 touchdowns, 3 receptions, 26 yards. And, of course, the running trio of Ionesco, Huey, and Salvini.
One of the things that they've done pretty well, coaching staff, has been able to spread the ball around to their running backs, so they almost equally have same number of carries. It's the biggest thing in offensive football used to be total yardage. Now it's points.
That's right. As Dom Krumer, the senior, take that back. Nick Massey, the senior, tees the ball up and away, and Black Hills Conference play starts at the 15-yard line, and that's taken by the quarterback, Aaron Walsh. And look at Walsh scamper up across the 30, almost to the 35, and that's where Chartiers-Houston will start this possession.
Well, you don't see that very often. The quarterback's not usually the return man on the kickoff team, but in this case, one of the better athletes, if not the best athlete on the team, brings the ball back to about the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 starting from near hash mark.
Possession starting at the 35-yard line. Buccaneers come up over the ball. Aaron Walsh, the quarterback. Julius Livingston goes way out wide to the left. In the slot is Tommy Jerza. And a penalty comes in right off the bat. False start, I believe, going to be called on the Buccaneers to start this game. That's not the way you want to start.
That's illegal motion. You had two slot receivers coming in motion toward the line, toward the ball, and you can only have one guy in motion the last time I checked. But that is not a good way to start the football game.
Tonight's officials, the referees Andy Ponsky, our umpire Matt Smithley, head linesman is Mark Grant, line judge Tim Edward, field judge is Neil Gearhart, and the side judge is Phyllis Davidson. So ball on the near hash as Chartiers-Houston now 1st and 15 from their own 30-yard line, moving from left to right. Walsh in the gun, has Luba behind him, will hand the ball off. Luba looking for somewhere to go, just bouncing off his tackles, and he fights for just 1 yard up the gut.
It's a little handoff, a little isolation play inside, trying to get some yardage up the field. Had a little bit of trouble lining up. Had a couple guys moved around, put 2 slot backs together on the near side and tried to just wedge it out of there and pick up about 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, it looks like they give him 2, makes it 2nd down and 13 from their own 31-yard line after the illegal motion penalty on 1st down. From the gun now, here's Walsh. Fake the handoff, and it's a direct snap. Actually, that goes right to Dom Andrioli, and Andrioli doesn't go anywhere. In fact, he loses 2 yards. Handoff.
Should be mentioned that
direct snap. Actually, that goes right.
Should note that Andrioli is back now after having served a 2-game suspension for technically throwing a punch in the first game.
So loss of 2 on the play makes it now 3rd down and 15 from their own 30-yard line for Chartiers-Houston. Buccaneers just trying to get some sort of positive offense here. Walsh from the gun has Andrioli behind him, 2 wide receivers to the left, looking to pass. Walsh under some pressure. Now scrambles back to the near side, waiting, and now fires a pass. He has a man behind the defense, and it's caught at the 35-yard line. Taken out of bounds inside the 25. The catch to Brody McCreary.
Brody McCreary did a great job that time. He was going to the opposite side of the field, saw the quarterback scramble to the near side and just changed directions and came back to the near sideline and was hit right on the hands with a perfect throw. First down and a great big play to get him out of trouble and get a first down and start the sticks again.
48 yards to the 22-yard line. First down of the ball game. Big play here for the Buccaneers. 2 receivers each way. Andrioli takes the direct snap, and he hands it off to Walsh, and Walsh just gets snowed under, nowhere to go. He'll be lucky if he didn't lose a yard.
Ball snapped directly to Andrioli, and Walsh took the ball underneath, tried to get to the near side, off tackle or wide, and a lot of white jerseys did not allow him to get there, a loss of about a half a yard.
Second down and 11 now for the Buccaneers' first drive, first possession of the ball game. Chartiers-Houston and Fort Cherry scoreless. 9:46 to play in the first quarter. Buccaneers, after the big 48-yard play, now have a second down and 11. Walsh from the gun has Luba behind him now. 2 receivers to the left. Man comes in motion. That's Andrioli. Handoff up the middle. Luba maybe gets a couple of yards. And ball may have popped out. Fort Cherry signaling that it has, and coming up with it, having the football in his hand, is Gavin Grace. And they'll say a fumble on the play.
Little inside run that time, and Luba just missed a little cutback. Had a lot of running room at about the second level, but gets stacked up, and the ball gets popped out, and Fort Cherry's on the ball, ready to go.
Yeah, the Rangers not wasting any time as they start this possession now after the turnover at their own 21-yard line.
We've talked a lot about offense, and I think the biggest challenge for Chartiers-Houston tonight is going to be defensively.
Let's see what this offense of Fort Cherry that comes in with so much hype has. And Matt Sigg starts this game 5 wide. 3 receivers to the right, and look at that. Spread it out, and he'll run it right up the gut. To the 30, to the 35, to the 40. He's already at midfield. Matt Sigg drug out of bounds at the 30-yard line. How about that to start the offense for the Fort Cherry Rangers?
A little quarterback draw that time. He looked to the near side, hesitated a little bit, and got up inside the tackles. Made a nice cut at about the 45-yard line down the near side for a big gain on first down.
That's about 48 yards. So he gets that big play after that big pass by Chartiers-Houston. He comes up and he runs for 48 yards on first down. Fort Cherry driving now themselves again. 4 receivers to the right side. Sigg looks to pass, and that one incomplete. Maybe threw behind the intended target there as one guy tried to slide for it. I don't know if that was intended for Nathan Wolf or not.
It was Wolf running a little slant route, I believe. And ball thrown a little bit low and behind him, unable to come up with it. Brings up second down.
Second down and 10 for Fort Cherry. No huddle here. 4 receivers lined up to the right. Sigg spreads them out once again. The Penn State recruit has offers from all across the country. Looking to pass. Rolls out to his right. Has a man chasing him down. Delivers the pass. It's incomplete. Right at the sticks again, looking for Nathan Wolf. It's incomplete and brings up third down.
Direct snap to Sigg, sprints to the far side, finds a guy a little bit open on the sideline, tried to get him the football, but again, low and outside, unable to come down with the football, brings up third down.
Third down from the Chartiers-Houston 29-yard line. See what the Fort Cherry offense can do here. Scoreless ball game, 9 minutes to play in the opening quarter.
Nobody covering the inside receiver.
Sigg with 2 sidecars. He hands it off and bouncing across the 25-yard line. That's not enough for a first down. It'll bring up fourth down here for the Fort Cherry Rangers.
They're in 4-down territory, so I fully suspected they're going to go after the first down.
That's Salvini who gets 7 yards on third down. Here it is. Fourth down for for Fort Cherry. Sigg with a hard count, it looks like, now looks back to the sideline. Needs to get to the 19-yard line. 2 sidecars, 1 each way, 2 receivers to the right. Ball in the near hash, fake the handoff, delivers the pass, and it's caught. It was a little high, but climbing the ladder to make the catch. It's Landon Ternavsky.
Ternavsky runs a slant route, and the ball high and inside, but he's able to get up the field, get his hands on the football, and come down with it with a man in his face. Picks up the first down.
10 yards to Ternavsky. Now hand it off once again, running to the left side. It's Salvini to the pylon, and the ball came out. And Chartiers-Houston has it. The Buccaneers force the turnover.
He was getting run out of bounds at about the pylon, but the ball got left on the field about a yard from out of bounds, and Maroon Jersey jumped on it real quick.
Almost was out of bounds with it, where he would have been ruled down just short. Looked like he dove there. When he fell over to his back, the ball pops out, and Fort Cherry turns it over inside the 5.
Big play this time. Big plays coming up for Chartiers. Got to get the ball out. You got to get at least try to get a first down. That's all you're looking for. You're getting a first down. You don't want to punt with a short end zone behind you.
Set inside the 5. It's inside the 1 yard line as the Buccaneers now have to try to get this out of their own end. Walsh is stacked up. Line of scrimmage is inside the 1. Forward progress. They're going to say no gain on the play there as he got pushed back into the end zone.
Yep, no gain. We're going to set it at the 1 again. Just tried to run the ball up the middle of the field, just try to wedge block people out of there, and defensively Fort Cherry able to hold up.
They gave him a half a yard as they moved the ball out to the other side of the inside hash. Under center again is Walsh. Pitch it back in the end zone and drug down for the safety. Couldn't get out.
And guess who makes the tackle? Matt Sieg from his outside linebacker spot makes the tackle. Gives him 2 points on the safety. And Chartiers-Houston will have to kick it off.
It's Maury Levy. I don't have him on my roster, at least not at wearing 22. And the safety makes it Fort Cherry 2, Chartiers-Houston nothing. So the Rangers would have liked 7 out of that, fumbling it inside the 1 yard line, but they get 2 points as Levy's drugged down in the end zone.
Now tried to run the toss sweep that time to the far side, and Sieg's playing that outside linebacker position. Everybody knows he has pretty good speed, and he did not commit himself up the field until he saw the ball coming, and then as soon as he saw it coming, got up the field, and they were not able to turn the corner, and he dropped them about 5 yards deep in the end zone.
7:12 to play. We'll be back in a moment here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
2-0 Fort Cherry after the safety, and now the Buccaneers will have to kick this ball off from their own 20-yard line. Fort Cherry will have great offensive field position.
No question. I don't know how far this ball is going to go down.
Kick from the 20 off the foot of Tommy
Pretty
Dura.
good kick.
Taken at the 34-yard line by Salvini. He breaks free at midfield. There he goes. Off to the races. Makes up for that fumble. Touchdown, Fort Cherry.
Took the ball in the near hash mark, took it to the middle of the field, and then just put his foot in the ground and busted it right up over the Chartiers-Houston emblem at the beginning of the 50-yard line and outraces everybody to the end zone. Great run, great blocking, big play.
Eli Salvini, 67-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
One of the things when I'm looking at the rushing stats, now obviously that doesn't count. It counts as return yardage, but Salvini averages 10.4 yards a carry, and he only had 14 carries through the first 3 games.
Here's Massey for the extra point. It's up and it's good. 7:01 to play in the first quarter. Fort Cherry 9, Chartiers-Houston nothing here in the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Hi, I'm Scott Day from the Day Insurance Agency here in Washington. When was the last time you reviewed your homeowner's policy? In recent years, the price of homeowners insurance has gone up dramatically. In fact, some companies have raised their rates by as much as 35% in the last year. If you haven't reviewed your coverage lately, now is the time. You might be surprised at how much you can save. Call us at 724-228-3448. Visit us online at dayinsurance.com or stop by one of our offices in Washington or Hickory.
Whether in the stands or watching from home, show your team spirit with custom printing from Quality Quick. They are your local partner for vinyl banners, fan apparel, and yard signs to help celebrate your home team. Quality Quick has been a proud print supplier for local schools and boosters in the community since 1978. Don't just watch the game, be part of it. Call 724-225-9427 or visit qualquick.com.
Well, I don't think anybody for Fort Cherry will be happy about the Eli Salvini fumble, but the way it works out, he got more points instead of scoring the touchdown. He got the safety on defense, and then he gets the 67-yard kickoff return after the safety for the touchdown.
Yeah, cover team got split there right at about the hash mark, and Salvini took advantage of it up the field.
So again, Nicholas Massey will kick things off for Fort Cherry, leading now 9-0 over Chartiers-Houston. 7:01 to play in the first quarter. Kickoff over to the far side. It'll be taken by Walsh at about the 6-yard line. Walsh now bringing it to midfield, and he is just crushed, nowhere to go, as he's tackled at about the 12 or 13, and again, not great field position here for the Buccaneers.
Ball kicked pretty deep, fielded on the 10, but his blockers ran away from him. They did not wait for him to catch the football. He should have taken it up the near sideline, but he tried to make it to the far sideline. Tried to come to the near sideline with no blocking. All his blockers were already gone 15 yards up the field, so the cover team just came right around his blockers.
6:52 to play in the first quarter. Two receivers to the near side now for Aaron Walsh. And handoff to the running back behind him. And big run here across the 20 to the 25-yard line. That's enough for a first down. Big run there by Dom Andrioli.
Andrioli, a freshman. Big runner, big kid, physical. Makes a nice move right at the line of scrimmage and takes it up the field for the first down.
Ball out now to the 27-yard line to move the sticks. Gain of 14 on first down there by Andrioli. Fort Cherry with a 9-0 advantage. Chartiers-Houston with the ball. Walsh from the gun has Andrioli behind him. He gets the call once again, this time to the right side, and Fort Cherry sniffs that one out. Four players collapsing on top of him, but still a nice gain of 3 on first down for Andrioli.
Good job initially by the offensive line. Just didn't keep their feet moving and weren't able to get up on the second level to make any blocks with the linebackers. They came in heavy to knock Andrioli to the ground.
Officials pointing at something on the knee of Tyler Wolf, and they're going to send him out of the game, it looks like. Maybe an equipment issue, maybe some blood. Tyler Wolf, the 6'2", 210-pound junior, goes to the sideline. And running in for him quickly after that official's timeout is Luke Zilich. So 2nd and 7 from their own 30-yard line now for the Buccaneers. Two receivers near side. Luba goes in motion. Fake the handoff, and Walsh, he stiff arms a man in the backfield, and he's tackled at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Chasing him down there for Fort Cherry, Blake Sweeter.
Sweeter did a nice job. Just sprinted to the outside and caught him right about the line of scrimmage and knocked him down off his leg. Got to his legs and knocked him down.
Brings up 3rd down now for the Buccaneers. 5.5 minutes to play first quarter, 9-0 Rangers.
Like to see him throw the ball here.
Ball still at their own 30-yard line, spotted on the far hash. The Buccaneers moving from left to right. Walsh from the gun has Andrioli behind him. 2 receivers near side and a timeout taken by Chartiers-Houston. 5:12 to play in the opening quarter. Rangers 9, Buccaneers nothing here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Alex Paris Contracting has been in business since 1928. They're in the heart of the Marcellus Shale on Route 18 in Atlasburg. Call Alex Paris for any contracting job, sewer, water, civil, or any oil and gas project. With over 600 pieces of heavy equipment, over 400 employees, all support equipment, and separate environmental company, they'll adapt and complete any project. Call Alex Paris Contracting, 724-947-2235. Learn more at alexparis.com.
This is Eric Cushy from Curtis Pharmacy. We don't sign every insurance contract out there. We don't participate in every network. And what we've come to realize is if we take our...
Actually, 3 receivers to the near side.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Walsh under pressure, and he's sacked in the backfield. Nowhere to go. Fort Cherry brings up 4th down after a big sack by Archie Shattuck.
Looked to try to break contain to the near sideline and wasn't able to. White jersey up the field pretty quick. Tried to reverse out of there, and the backside contained man ended up wrapping him up.
Big loss on the play. Ball all the way back to the 21-yard line. Sack loses 9 yards, and now the Buccaneers will bring out the punt team for the first time tonight.
Tough to run the sprint out now without it being able to cut.
Buccaneers get the kickoff, and boy, the punt will bounce and take a Fort Cherry roll, a big one. That thing hit at the 43-yard line and goes back across the 40. And, boy, great field position here for the Rangers. And Fort Cherry, look, wasting no time here to get the offense ready to roll. Great field position once again.
Well, one of the things to think about, we're playing small school football here. So most of the guys that are on defense are playing offense as well. All they had to do was change their mental state and just turn around and line up offensively.
Just a 15-yard punt, if I have my math correctly. As Sig takes the snap, he'll run it to the right, up the gut. He'll get it close to the 30-yard line or so.
It's a straight power play that time. Direct snap to Sieg, going off the right side between a tackle and end. Able to pick up a good 7 yards.
Brings up 2nd down and 3 now from the Chartiers-Houston 30-yard line. Fort Cherry, no huddle, just going over to the sideline to get the call. Sigan in shotgun formation. One guy to his left, that guy gets the call. Handoff goes to Yanosko. He has enough for the first down, carrying some bodies with him across the 20-yard line as the Rangers enter the red zone.
They ran 2 backs together, 2 of the slot backs together on the left side, and it looked like they might have run some sort of counter action in the backfield and got the Chartiers secondary and the second level to move a little bit, and he was able to find some running room on a little counter action back to the far side.
Gain of about 12. First down now for Fort Cherry once again. Sig fake the handoff to Yanosko. Delivers a pass to the end zone. Touchdown in the hands of Nicholas Massey. Rangers strike again.
Massey run a little fade route down the far sideline, and Sieg actually ball right on the money. The receiver high-pointed the ball, which means he got up in the air over top of the defender. Pretty well covered, but the ball was thrown perfectly, and the ball was high-pointed. Never had a chance to knock it down. Touchdown.
18-yard pass, Nicholas Massey, as Sig gets his first touchdown passing tonight, as Massey now comes on to kick the extra point. There's the snap, kick up, and that kick is good. 3:34 to play in the first quarter. It's now Fort Cherry 16, Chartiers-Houston nothing here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
You deserve a bank that drives your business. One that's with you for the long haul and knows how to keep your business rolling. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on delivering customized solutions, ones that are built for the unique journey your business is on. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Our motto at Sunny Days is put our clients and our caregivers first.
For Sunny Days In-Home Care, John Bennett.
We care about people and we want people to have better lives because we're involved with them. We'd love for you to go and check out our website, fill out an application, and we can talk to you more. And we really like to have good people. And the big thing we're looking for is if you're a caring and compassionate person, and that's our top quality.
Sunny Days caregivers make a difference in people's lives. Find out how you can join the team. Log on sunnydaysinhomecare.com.
16-0 Fort Cherry, a safety, a kickoff return, and now Matt Sig with a passing touchdown to Nick Massey to put it up, make it a 3-score game. Well, technically it's still a 2-score game. Take that back.
Touchdown and 2 two-pointers.
3.5 minutes.
Chartiers has to do something with this possession right now.
Massey now kicks the ball off. Will be taken at about the 17-yard line by Walsh, and he's wrapped up short of the 30. The Buccaneers do need to get some sort of offense going. They had the big 48-yard play, but since then it's been quiet for the Bucs.
Got to do something to flip the field position. Get a couple first downs. See if it makes something happen, but kickoff, good coverage that time by the Rangers coming down the field. Walsh didn't have too many options. To just kind of curled up and took what he got.
Big pass to McCreary on 3rd down, 48-yard pass. That's pretty much all of Chartiers-Houston's offense. Walsh from the gun. Hands it off to Andrioli. Andrioli slips past one tackler in the backfield. Gets up to the 30-yard line. Make it the 31 for a gain of 3 on 1st down.
Inside run that time to Andrioli on the snap. Pretty good job that time by the interior of the offensive line. Andrioli, big back, 205 pounds, and only a freshman. Or no, maybe he's a sophomore this year.
Andrioli?
Yeah. I'm trying to think here.
He is a sophomore, yeah. You're
sophomore.
Right. 205 pounds, 6'2". Big guy back there, and young. 2nd down and 7. Hand it off to him again. Finds a little hole on the right side. Spins off a tackler at the 35 and bounces up to about the 36, 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 1 now for the Buccaneers.
Good second effort that time by Andrioli. Once he got to that second level, off the inside handoff, kind of put a shoulder into a tackler, spun around and was able to get the extra yards, almost get to the 1st down.
Third down and 1. Ball spotted at their own 37-yard line.
This is the yardage that you have to look to your offensive line to help your back a little bit.
You just pound it with Andrioli again?
Well,
we'll see.
We'll see.
It looked like he was going to line up under center, and, well, Chartiers-Houston was confused as Andrioli looks over to the sideline and has some questions for Dan Liss. Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Fort Cherry 16, Chartiers-Houston nothing. We're back in a moment on the WJPA Sports Network presented by the CNX Foundation.
Imperial Land Corporation is proud to be developing real estate in Washington and Allegheny counties. Over 3,000 acres can accommodate any size development. The nearly 900-acre Fort Cherry Development District along PA 576 is prime commercial real estate minutes from the Pittsburgh Airport and I-79. Visit imperialland.com or call 412-424-0495 for development opportunities. Good luck to the Fort Cherry Rangers from Imperial Land Corporation.
This is Coach Guy Montecalvo for the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, here to invite you to become a member of our chapter and help celebrate the stories of these outstanding athletes, coaches, and teams. For just $10, you'll have the opportunity to vote for respected athletes, coaches, and teams of yesteryear as we recognize these sports figures for their contributions to our rich athletic tradition. We're the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. Find us online or hit us up on Facebook and be a part of something exceptional.
Back here out of the timeout, Chartiers-Houston facing a 3rd down and 1. There's the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. Some folks hanging out here at Chartiers-Houston tonight. Here's the 3rd and 1. And again, after the timeout, the Bucs still have to come and look at the sideline. They snapped it. I'm not sure anybody was ready for it on the Chartiers-Houston offense. And somehow Andrioli gets that ball all the way up across the 40-yard line, maybe caught Fort Cherry off guard a little bit.
Fort Cherry was not ready for the snap, and it was kind of a stalemate at the line of scrimmage, and Andrioli able to bounce it where he originally wanted to take the sneak and kind of bounce it to the near side and find an opening to get it.
1st and 10 now at their own 42-yard line, so the Bucks do move the sticks here. 3 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side, 5 wide here for Aaron Walsh. Looks to the sideline for the play call. Takes his time, gets set to throw, and now he'll sneak it himself up the middle, across the 50, and drug down enough for the first down to move the sticks once again. They'll spot him at the 45-yard line as the Bucks move the ball into Fort Cherry territory.
They were real close to having a real big play and a touchdown. They went 5 wides, and Fort Cherry was a man-to-man, but they had a spy on the quarterback, and the quarterback almost ran through the tackle.
Final minute of action here at Chartiers-Houston in the first quarter. Bucks will have to snap the ball here. We got 10 on the play clock as they come to the ball. Trailing 16-0 to Fort Cherry. They'll spread them out once again. Now Andrioli steps back. He's a sidecar to the right. Looking to pass. He'll tuck it himself. And this time Aaron Walsh gets a couple yards from the 45. He'll get up to the 43. And Chartiers-Houston does not have to snap this ball with 25 seconds left in the quarter. But trailing 16-0, maybe you try to get another play off here.
Another quarterback draw that time by Walsh. Tried to find some running room. Not a whole lot of running room to find, but he did manage to pick up a couple yards.
And it looks like the Buccaneers
They're going to let this clock go down and start the second quarter going the other way.
Yes, they are. End of the first quarter. Fort Cherry 16, Chartiers-Houston nothing here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
At Slovenian Savings and Loan, they understand you want convenience. That's why their mobile banking app allows you to bank from anywhere, anytime. They also know there's no substitute for personal, one-on-one service from someone who cares about you and your family. Founded on honesty, integrity, and trust in 1925, and that will never change. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. Slovenian Savings and Loan on Boone Avenue in Strabane. SlovenianSavingsandLoan.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Friday night lights bring our community together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opiate addiction. I'm Commissioner Larry Maggi, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential helpline today at 724-228-1234. That's 724-228-1234. Together, we can fight addiction and build a stronger future for Washington County.
Ball moves to the other side of the field. Chartiers-Houston facing a second down and 8 from the Fort Cherry 43-yard line. Bucks have moved the ball a little bit. Fort Cherry's come out and scored quickly, but the Buccaneers haven't been totally shut out on offense. They don't have a point on the board, but they've moved the sticks a couple of times.
They made the big play early in the game on a broken play, actually. And this is really the first time that they've been able to sustain anything down the field, which is what they needed to do. When you get down 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions, you got to do something just to flip the field position, and they've done that a little bit.
5 wide once again for Aaron Walsh. It's worked on this drive now. He'll fire it deep, has a man, and overthrows him. Brody McCreary was behind the defense. He's the one who had that big 48-yard catch earlier, had his man beat, but Walsh just misses him.
Fade route down the far side. Walsh, little fake quarterback draw to try to hold everybody, and ended up just overthrowing him by about 2 or 3 yards down the far sideline. Brings up third down and 8.
Stops the clock, just 4 seconds off here as we begin this second quarter. Walsh again looking to pass. Quick one. It's to Andrioli. He slips past a would-be tackler at the 40-yard line, rips off another guy. He gets the first down and more across the 35-yard line. Move the sticks once again, Chartiers-Houston.
Good job by Andreoli that time. After the catch, he made a nice catch, and then after the catch, just kept his feet moving, moved his shoulders, turned a little bit, and got the ball up the field.
Gain of 10 on the play by Andreoli, moves the ball to the 33-yard line. Buccaneers offense gets another first down. Ball spotted on the near hash, moving from right to left for the Bucs now. As the clock continues to turn, just less than 30 seconds into this quarter.
Fort Cherry playing a lot of man-to-man defense.
First and 10. Walsh looking to pass. Under some pressure. Has three guys chasing him. Has to get rid of it. Fires downfield and does throw this out of bounds. Had three guys all over him up in his face.
Had time to throw the ball if he could have thrown it right away, but nobody opened down the field. Ended up almost getting sacked for a big loss. Gave up a lot of ground, and there's a flag on the play.
See what this penalty marker is.
Looks like the umpire picked it up.
Yep, doesn't look like a penalty there. So second down and 10 after the incomplete pass. 16-0. Chartiers-Houston trails Fort Cherry, but the Bucs now with a second and 10 as Andreoli gets the handoff, running to the right side. He'll pick up two maybe on the play. He'll bring up third down for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, an inside handoff. They got I think Chartiers has to find some sort of running game that's on the edge as opposed to inside the tackles. And I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to set it up to fake that and then get your quarterback outside. They have not done that yet because the Fort Cherry has been able to control the line of scrimmage with their inside four people.
Third down and 8. Looking to pass again is Walsh. Has a guy in his face. Set up the screen to Andreoli. He makes the catch at the 31. He has the first down and more across the 20 and driven out of bounds around the 15-yard line.
Really nice. They came off the edge that time trying to get to the quarterback, and somehow Walsh found Andreoli leaking out into the flat on the far side, and Andreoli makes a good catch, turns it up the field, gets the first down and more. Ball's at the 16-yard line, first and 10, far hash.
First and 10 now. They mark him out at the 16-yard line. Big play by Andreoli. Bucs continue to be on the move, trailing 16-0. Here's Walsh from the gun with Andreoli to his left. He'll follow him as a blocker as Walsh keeps it, and he has swallowed up Matt Sig all over him. Drives him backwards, and a flag comes in a little late. Penalty on the play.
That time Walsh just kept the football, tried to run behind his two blockers. Wasn't able to get to the corner. Sieg came off the blocks. I'm not sure he even had a hat on him, but they're going to call this against Fort Cherry. They're talking to the coaching staff at Chartiers.
Now, officials still talking here. Markers down at the 23. Would have been a loss of about 2. We still don't have the call here.
Face mask.
I asked my producer, Brand, if he has that replay once again. See if there's a face mask in here. Sig might have had
his hand up inside. I don't think it was intentional. It just kind of slipped up in there and wasn't able to get it out, or didn't want to.
So they make that is just a 5-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 5 now from the 11-yard line. Buccaneers continue to be on the move. Walsh looks to pass, looks to the far corner of the end zone, and that is batted away. Great defense by Nicholas Massey, but a flag comes in. Let's watch the replay here. Massey kind of all over him. Has the left arm all on him and swats the ball with the right.
Nice fade route to the far side. Ball pretty well placed.
Was looking for McCreary.
Not sure. I'd like to see that again, just to see. I thought he wasn't looking back. Well, he looked back. I don't know. Well, good for Chartiers-Houston.
Well, it moves the ball now to the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Buccaneers. 2 penalties on this drive now against the Rangers, and the Buccaneers are knocking on the door. First and goal from the 5. Look at the big man who lines up in there. Hand it off to Andrioli, and they were all over that. Fort Cherry sniffs that out right away. It's a loss.
Yep, Andrioli trying to run it off the edge on the right side, but just took too long to get there. Fort Cherry, a lot of white jerseys in on that tackle.
They brought in Tyler Clayton, listed at 5'10", 219, offensive lineman. Lined him up back there as a halfback. Second down and goal now from the 7. Loss of 2 on first down. Again, Clayton in there. Walsh is under center. 3 backs behind him. Fake the handoff. Rolls out to his left. Gets around one defender. Getting chased now. And Walsh has the ball knocked out. And Fort Cherry has it. Salvini was all over him. Knocks the ball out with one hand, and jumping on top of it for Fort Cherry is Jordan Bianchi.
Walsh trying to make something happen. Never tucked the ball when he decided that he wasn't going to be able to make the corner. Carried the ball in one hand, and Salvini knocked the ball out close to the sideline. And Fort Cherry picks the ball up, and they're going to have it 1st and 10 on the 9-yard line coming out of their own end.
Second fumble by Chartiers-Houston. Oh, my goodness. So much momentum there. Great drive by the Buccaneers, and Fort Cherry forces that turnover as Salvini pokes that ball out.
Now, one of the things we mentioned is that this game, obviously you can't make mistakes, and right now the mistakes are being made by the Bucs.
Fort Cherry takes over inside the 10-yard line, their own 10-yard line. Sig fakes the handoff, runs right up the middle. Boy, I thought he could have bounced that out more, but he puts his head down across the 15-yard line. Gain of close to 10 here on first down. See where they mark that.
Little fake to the running back, and he keeps the ball right up inside.
They do say first
down. They give him a first down.
They did. 10 yards there on first down by Matt Sig right up the middle. This time he'll hand that ball off, and Clayton ripping the running back down to the ground. Gain of a couple there on first down.
Just as important now for Chartiers is defensively whether they can tighten up and prevent this group from going down the field, flipping field position, and possibly scoring.
Second down and 7. Sig with a keeper up the left side. Big gain by him as he takes it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
He's done that since he was a freshman. Takes the ball, gets to the outside, and the pursuit people cannot gauge his speed trying to get to him. We'll give some credit to the blockers, but they're always a step behind, so he's able to turn the corner and get up the field.
Gain of about 17. And now first down and 10. Sig under some pressure, set up the screen. It's caught by Turdavsky. And there he goes, off to the races. Look at this, 60-yard screen pass for a touchdown. Fort Cherry scores again.
Little jailbreak screen that time. Brought faked the outside throw, brought the slot receiver inside, picked up some linemen, and he didn't even wait for the lineman. The lineman never got down the field. He just outran everybody down the field to score the touchdown.
Turnavsky.
Well executed.
That is a great screen pass. He comes from right to left, makes that catch, and that's a 60-yard screen pass for the touchdown. Fort Cherry on the board once again, and that just takes the wind out of the sails of the Buccaneers. Extra point is up and good. 7:40 to play in the second quarter. It's now Fort Cherry 23, Chartiers-Houston nothing on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
Join the team at Schweinebraten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebraten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebraten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
My dream field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My dream field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My dream field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
Well, the Buccaneer offense will get another chance at it. Now trailing 23-0 as Massey kicks it off once again, taken right at the 10-yard line by Levy. Up across the 20 and got laid out on that far side. Big hit by Fort Cherry.
Again, great coverage that time by Fort Cherry's cover team, but excuse me, but the real problem with that is that the blockers for the return person were about 15 yards ahead of them. You know, you got to wait for him to catch the football and then advance up the field with him, so you at least got a chance to get a couple helmets with different color.
23-0 Fort Cherry. Chartiers-Houston now with the football. Had a great drive that they had put together, but a fumble turned the ball over, and it took Fort Cherry just a handful of plays to put up the 60-yard touchdown pass. Now Walsh again on offense. Handed off to Andrioli. Bounces it to the left side. It's an inside handoff there to the 25-yard line. Give him the 26. He picks up a couple on first down.
Andrioli had a little bit of a crease there at the line of scrimmage. Was able to get through that. Got met by the linebackers.
56 Archie Shattuck on the tackle. Gain him about 2.
Give him 3 yards on the carry. You can just feel the wind out of everybody here in the Chartiers-Houston crowd. They were getting excited, putting that good drive together. You give the ball up, and then Fort Cherry just kills you right away.
Momentum will do that, especially when you don't have it.
Under 7 minutes to play. 5 wide now for Aaron Walsh. That is in the first half. Walsh looking to pass under some pressure now. Has to spin out to his left. And my goodness, out of nowhere, Matt Sigg comes in and sacks Aaron Walsh. My goodness, is this kid something special or what?
Well, Sigg was the guy who was spying the quarterback. They had him in the middle of the formation. And as soon as he got to the middle of the formation and saw Walsh trying to run, he ended up making a beeline to him. That's one of the reasons he got recruited by Penn State to play defense.
Loss of 6 on the play as Sigg gets the sack. And now it's 3rd down and long. Ball spot at the 19-yard line. Got to get to the 33. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the near side. Andrioli lined up there behind Walsh. Walsh looking to pass. Has some time, now under some pressure, has to scamper out, and he'll just throw it away. It'll bring up 4th down for Chartiers as they go backwards on this drive.
That time, good rush up the field. I don't know whether it's practiced or not, but every time that Walsh is bailed out, except for the first long throw, he's had to bail out to his left, running the football, trying to throw the ball right-hander going left. A little bit more difficult. He has not been able to contact anybody with the football.
Second time Chartiers-Houston has had to punt. And that punt just got off, and it's another short one. It bounces at the 40, takes a Fort Cherry hop, and is not touched until the 37-yard line. 23-0 Fort Cherry leads Chartiers-Houston. Back in a moment on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Again, another less than 20-yard punt for Chartiers-Houston. Sets up Fort Cherry here at the Chartiers-Houston 37-yard line. Trying to bounce it outside now is Nathan Wolf. Wolf able to turn it upfield and get the first down. I thought he was going to be brought down near the line of scrimmage, but turns it upfield nicely right there. Slips off a tackle across the 35, and boy, look at him just continue to move the feet forward and bounces all the way up to the 25.
Little jet sweep, got on the corner pretty quick. It did look like he was going to get contacted, and he did get contacted, but it was about 5 yards down the field, and he was able to break a couple tackles and move it further down.
Call it the 26-yard line now. 1st and 10 for Fort Cherry. Marching once again. Sig keeps it. Up the gut he goes. Matt Sig off to the races to the 10-yard line. Splits 3 defenders to scamper into the end zone. There's another touchdown for the Rangers.
Quarterback draw, Matt Sieg. Nobody in the middle of the field, and when you run the quarterback draw, you break that second level. There's nobody there to catch you. What he's done very well is been able to avoid tacklers. And, he did avoid a tackle about the 10-yard line by making a little move. But for all intents and purposes, by alignment, it was pretty open once he broke the second level.
Just a couple of plays to march down the field. A 26-yard Matt Sig touchdown run. And the extra point off the toe of Massey is up and good. 4:52 to play in the first half. Fort Cherry 30, Chartiers-Houston nothing here in the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
Radio and TV today are cluttered with ads for car insurance. You might find these ads clever, funny, or even annoying. Hi, I'm Scott Day from the Day Insurance Agency. We like to keep things simple. We will give you the best possible coverage at the best possible price with great hometown service without all those gimmicks. Call us to get a free no-obligation quote with Erie Insurance. You might be surprised how much you can save. That's the Day Insurance Agency, 724-228-3448, or online at dayinsurance.com.
Since 1978, Quality Quick Printing has been a single source for all your business, organization, and corporate printing needs. A full-service digital document solution center, high-speed digital copying, large format, design and finishing, direct mail services, and so much more. Call their print solutions specialists to help with your next project, 724-225-9427, or visit qualquick.com.
Under 5 minutes to play in the opening half. Fort Cherry 30, Chartiers-Houston nothing. And we're trying this technology on this scoreboard thing, and it's not quite working out the way we had hoped. But if you're watching our broadcast, it is 30-0. We'll end up playing with that. It doesn't help the scoreboard isn't operating at full capacity either here at the field. Fort Cherry kicks this one off once again, taken inside the 5-yard line by Walsh, and there's nobody around to help him. And he's just laid out, absolutely leveled, and this is going to be helmet to helmet, I think, as the flag comes in. He got crushed by Joe Barna. Watch this right here. I mean, there's nobody to help him, and Barna leads with the helmet. Led with the helmet. My goodness. And the flag comes in.
He tried to tackle him with his shoulder, but his helmet got up underneath the face mask.
That's going to be the personal foul. Can I see that one more time, Brandon, that replay? Yeah, it gets laid out there, and helmet-to-helmet contact, and
good call.
Personal foul. Hope Walsh.
Good call. Walsh agrees with it, but he doesn't want to have that happen to him again.
So I'll tell you what, in small 1A football, having the foot of Nicholas Massey is a huge advantage. He's been able to get that kickoff inside the 5 every single time, and it put Chartiers-Houston at bad field position, and they've had a tough time returning the football.
That's why injuries are such a big problem in Class A football, because you don't only lose one player, you actually lose two, because most of them go in two ways.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So the ball after that personal foul penalty comes out to the 34. And Fort Cherry's going to take a timeout. We'll take one too. 4:42 to play in the first half. It's Fort Cherry 30, Chartiers-Houston nothing here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
Alex Paris Contracting has been in business since 1928. They're in the heart of the Marcellus Shale on Route 18 in Atlasburg. Call Alex Paris for any contracting job, sewer, water, civil, or any oil and gas project. With over 600 pieces of heavy equipment, over 400 employees, all support equipment, and separate environmental company, they'll adapt and complete any project. Call Alex Paris Contracting, 724-947-2235. Learn more at alexparis.com.
This is Eric Cushy from Curtis Pharmacy. We don't sign every insurance contract out there. We don't participate in every network. And what we've come to realize is if we take our invoice cost on generic drugs, add a fair dispense fee, we can save you money depending on the medication. No insurance, no middlemen. You have a prescription, you pay us, you're done. If you take generic drugs, this program's for you. Go to our website at curtispharmacy.com, click the Dare to Compare link, and feel free to look up your medication, see how much we could save you.
Back here at Buccaneer Stadium. Glad to have you along on the WJPA Sports Network. Nate Regani alongside Bill Duquette tonight. Our score bug is definitely wrong now. We might just have to give up on this thing. We do it for the clock, so the clock's accurate. That's what we've been trying to do. But if you're watching on the video stream here on WJPA.com or our YouTube page, we'll get that fixed during halftime for you. 4:42 to play in the opening half. Chartiers-Houston with the football, trailing Fort Cherry 30-0. First and 10 from their own 33-yard line. Quick handoff up the middle to Andrioli. Dom Andrioli pounds it across the 35 up to the 39-yard line. Gain of about 5 on first down there for Andrioli.
Again, Andrioli inside handoff. That's basically the one play that he's run all night, is either to the right or to the left.
Andrioli
picks up pretty good yardage.
He's a big guy, 205, 6'2". Gain of 5 on first down. Brings up second down and 5 now. Luba goes in motion. And off to Andrioli right up the gut once again across the 40 to the 41. He'll get 2 yards, but it's third down for Chartiers-Houston.
And Chartiers would like to at least control the ball through this quarter rather than not give the ball back to Fort Cherry. So they have the ball last in the second quarter.
Third down and 2. 3.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Walsh from the gun has Andrioli behind him. Andrioli gets the call 3 times in a row, and Fort Cherry stuffs him. He'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be fourth down for the Bucks.
Fort Cherry just beat him right off the ball that time defensively, and offensive line never moved. And he had a lot of white jerseys in the backfield before Andrioli even got the football.
And now the punt game has not been strong for Chartiers-Houston, and part of that is because of injury, Bill.
Yes, I think Tegan Bogdan was their punter, and they're not going to punt it unless they quick kick it.
Down 30-0. Might as well try something now. 2.5 minutes to play. Fort Cherry's scored quickly on every possession. Tries the hard count maybe.
Yep.
5 wide. And the play clock's down at 0.
Tough to hard count from the shotgun, but that's what they were trying to do. Give them credit, trying to draw them off sides.
And Chartiers-Houston uses its final timeout of the first half. 2:22 to play in the opening half. It's Fort Cherry 30, Chartiers-Houston nothing here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
You deserve a bank that brings fresh ideas to your business. One that can see you're a cut above and knows you like you know your customers. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on preparing personalized solutions ones that cater to the unique needs of your business. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
We go into individuals' homes and provide non-medical care for mainly senior citizens, but also people with disabilities.
For Sunny Days In-Home Care, John Bennett.
We do stuff like bathing, grooming, meal preparation, take people to doctor's appointments. Someone needs a little bit of assistance to help them stay in their home instead of going into a facility, and we like to come in and be the people that do that for them.
Sunny Days In-Home Care, providing compassionate care for your loved one in the comfort of their home. Find out more, sunnydaysinhomecare.com.
Here we go. Chartiers-Houston going for it here on 4th down and movement. Movement. And it's a false start. It's 4th down and 3 at their own 40. Back them up 5 yards to the 35-yard line.
That's a killer right there.
Take the timeout. The hard count doesn't work. You take the timeout. Say you're going to go for it. Now we'll see. My guess is they're still going to go for it, but makes this a little harder. And they are going to go for it still.
Must be keeping the time on the field.
4th down and 8. Walsh back to pass. Fort Cherry brings the pressure. He steps up, and that ball is knocked down. Incomplete. Good defense by Blake Sweeter for Fort Cherry. Ball goes over on downs, and it's great field position once again for the Rangers, who take over at the Chartiers-Houston 35.
Sweeter almost came up with that football on the interception, dove for it, had it in his hands, and unable to pull it in.
Fort Cherry could put this game into the mercy rule for the entire second half if they put up a touchdown here. 2:15 remaining in the half, 30-0 Rangers, and they have the football once again. Salvini gets the handoff around the left side, gets across the 30, enough for the first down, up the far sideline, still on his feet, inside the 10, stumbling towards the pylon, and they're going to mark him out of bounds inside the 5.
There was nobody on the edge on the far side. That edge blocking basically sealed off the outside for Salvini, and once he got on the outside, he just took it right up the sideline and almost makes it into the end zone, probably out about the 1 or the 2 yard line.
They mark him out at the 2 yard line. A 33-yard run on first down. And now Fort Cherry from 2 yards out has a chance to punch it in and put this game into the mercy rule. Sig with 2 sidecars, 1 each way. Handed off to Salvini. Beats off a body. He's in. Touchdown, Rangers. Fort Cherry scores once again. Salvini putting a shoulder down there right at the goal line to get in.
Yep, just a little inside handoff, running it off the left side offensively. Uses his own body to run into a tackler and get it into the end zone. 36-0, 2 minutes to go in the second quarter.
3 touchdowns in 5.5 minutes of play.
And lining up for the extra point right now.
Had that safety to start the game, start the scoring. A couple of fumbles. Chartiers-Houston had shown some promise on offense a couple of times, but the potent Fort Cherry offense continues to pour it on. Extra point is good. 2 minutes to play in the opening half. It's 37-0 Fort Cherry over the Buccaneers of Chartiers-Houston here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
Imperial Land Corporation is proud to be developing real estate in Washington and Allegheny counties. Over 3,000 acres can accommodate any size development. The nearly 900-acre Fort Cherry Development District along PA 576 is prime commercial real estate minutes from the Pittsburgh Airport and I-79. Visit imperialland.com or call 412-424-0495 for development opportunities. Good luck to the Fort Cherry Rangers from Imperial Land Corporation.
This is Coach Guy Montecalvo for the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, here to invite you to become a member of our chapter and help celebrate the stories of these outstanding athletes, coaches, and teams. For just $10, you'll have the opportunity to vote for respected athletes, coaches, and teams of yesteryear as we recognize these sports figures for their contributions to our rich athletic tradition. We're the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. Find us online or hit us up on Facebook and be a part of something exceptional.
Eli Salvini now with 2 touchdowns in the game, the 67-yard kickoff return for the touchdown, and now a 2-yard punch-in after his big 33-yard run. Puts this game into the Mercy Rule 37-0. Fort Cherry will fix the score bug if you're watching the video online during the halftime break as the Rangers kick this thing off. Once again, the boot of Massey as the ball's taken inside the 10. And again, just pushed back. This time it's McCreary on the return. And Chartiers-Houston, their offense has barely been able to get off the field. Usually you're worried about your defense being on the field so much. The offense hasn't been able to get a break.
Whose offense we talking about?
Fort Cherry comes out, scores in 3-4 plays, and it's over.
Well, sometimes talent is the great equalizer, and I'm saying that facetiously because talent's the great equalizer all the time. And right now, Fort Cherry is much more talented when you go down through the lineup.
They are impressive.
Than Chartiers right now.
1st and 10, handoff to Andrioli around the right side. No gain on first down there for the Buccaneers. Bill, you've been in the locker room at halftime in a game like this, I'm sure. Maybe not. Okay, sorry, I don't.
No.
37. I mean, it's a big. What do you go to the locker room and say at 37-0?
Nothing. You go out and play the second half.
Yeah.
Nothing. You go out and play the second half. Let's play it better than we did the first half. Make a couple of corrections. I never thought that. They talk about those fiery halftime speeches and yelling and screaming. I was the offensive coordinator in college, and I was a quarterback coach, so I didn't do a whole lot of yelling and screaming. I coached 12 years in high school. I did a lot of yelling and screaming, but it was mostly in practice.
Handoff to Andrioli up the middle. Does get some positive yardage on this carry. Gain of about 7 will bring up 3rd down and 3 for Chartiers-Houston. Final 45 seconds of the second quarter.
They're going to run this again, I think, up inside and or try to get Walsh on the corner.
Well, the play clock's not working.
They're keeping him on the field, probably. See, official will raise their hand when it's 10 seconds.
Hand off to Andrioli once again, puts his head down. He'll be close to the first down marker, but pushed backwards here. And they do give.
I think they're going to give him a mark of the first down.
And they're going to let the clock run out. And that is halftime. A big first half for Fort Cherry. We expected the Rangers to be talented here tonight, but a 37-0 lead at halftime. Step aside for a minute. We'll come back, recap that first half for you. We'll have a halftime news update from Lynn Manning, as well as Joe Onderco breaking down the President's Athletic Conference for W&J football tomorrow. That's all next here at halftime when we come back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
Slovenian Savings and Loan is here for your life, your future, and your dreams. While life's pace seems to get faster and faster, Slovenian Savings and Loan still stands by its traditional values of honesty, integrity, and building personal relationships. Enjoy all modern conveniences to make banking easy, combined with a down-to-earth, face-to-face way of doing business. Slovenian Savings and Loan on Boone Avenue in Strabane. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Friday night lights bring our community together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm Commissioner Electra Janis, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential helpline today at 724-228-1234. That's 724-228-1234. Together, we can fight addiction and build a stronger future for Washington County.
Join the team at Schweinebraten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebraten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebraten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
And the Fort Cherry Marching Band out on the field during this halftime break. A 37-0 lead for Fort Cherry over Chartiers-Houston here at halftime. Let's recap the scoring for you in that first half. Chartiers-Houston started with the football, started driving down the field a little bit, but had a fumble that turned the ball over. Luba was not able to hang on to it. Jake Luba with the fumble gives Fort Cherry the football. The Rangers march down the field, a couple of big plays, but march down the field. Salvini looking for the pylon, thought it was going to be a touchdown for the Rangers, but Salvini loses the football, fumbles it at the 1-yard line, and the Buccaneers recover. So 0-0. Buccaneers have the ball inside their own one, sets up, you guessed it, a safety. Matt Sig, big tackle in the end zone, put Fort Cherry up 2-0. Fort Cherry has to kick that ball off from their own 20-yard line, or Chartiers-Houston has to kick that ball off from their own 20-yard line after that safety, and that sets up a 67-yard kickoff return. Eli Salvini makes up for fumbling that football. He takes it all the way back into the end zone. It was 9-0 Fort Cherry. Chartiers-Houston had to punt, sets up Fort Cherry again offensively, an 18-yard touchdown pass from Matt Sig to Nicholas Massey in the backcourt of the end zone for a touchdown. Fort Cherry now leading 16-0. Chartiers-Houston with a good drive again and has the ball punched out. Another fumble after a couple of first downs. Fumble the ball away. Takes just a couple of minutes off the clock for Fort Cherry to come back and score once again. A 60-yard screen pass from Matt Sig to Landon Ternavsky made it 23-0. Another Chartiers-Houston punt sets up with under 5 minutes to go. A 26-yard Matt Sig touchdown run made it 30-0. Chartiers-Houston turns it over on downs. In 2 plays, Fort Cherry scores again, both from Eli Salvini. The first play, a 33-yard run, and he punches it in from 2 yards out to make it 37-0. Fort Cherry just dominating this one right now, Bill.
No question. The as we said before, the talent has taken over. One of the things that they've done, to be quite honest, they've been more physical.
Yeah.
But all their plays have been on edge plays, where they get out in space and then make something happen out in space. For Chartiers-Houston, defensively, they need to defend the edge, and then they have to tackle better. But again, you're talking about a young football team playing a pretty veteran football team when it comes to those skill positions where Fort Cherry is really making hay. So they've got their work cut out for them even in the second half and a running clock. But, what they got to do is they got to go into the locker room. They got to say, okay, here we are. We've been here before against this team. Okay, and they were. Okay, what they need to be able to do, they need to come out and play like it's nothing, and don't worry about what the scoreboard says. Just worry about how they improve at their position.
It will be a running clock in the second half. Mercy rule is 35 points. Let's listen in to the Fort Cherry Band here for a moment. how about my man Logan McClanahan, the wide receiver on the Fort Cherry team out there rocking the saxophone. Here at halftime, it's the Rangers 37, Chartiers-Houston nothing. Going to take a break. On the other side of this break, Lynn Manning will have a halftime news update for you, and we'll also hear from Joe Onderko with this week's President's Athletic Conference report ahead of W&J's football matchup tomorrow. We're back in a moment here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
My dream field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My dream field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My dream field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
Good evening. I'm Lynn Manning with your WJPA halftime report. We've got still some sunshine hanging around. Temperatures tonight in the low 50s. And then tomorrow we start into a beautiful weekend. Plenty of sunshine with highs in the mid to upper 80s. We'll take a complete look at that forecast coming up. But first, let's go to ABC for the latest on the suspect who was arrested in the murder of Charlie Kirk.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. In Utah, a 22-year-old was arrested today in the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Governor Spencer Cox says images and video released showing the suspect at Utah Valley University caused his family to come forward.
A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
Calls are growing to stop the political violence. ABC's Pierre Thomas says law enforcement is facing new challenges.
Make no mistake, we're in the midst of an extraordinary time, a challenging time, and what law enforcement is telling me is that they're going to have to rethink their efforts of how to apply resources to try to get on the front side of individuals like this who may be planning acts of violence.
Some lawmakers have also voiced safety concerns. This is ABC News.
A Fayette County teacher is facing charges for having inappropriate contact with a 14-year-old student. Connellsville Middle School teacher, 30-year-old Ashley Autumn Mondial, is charged with unlawful contact with a minor, sexual abuse of children, and corruption of minors. Police say they found sexually suggestive messages on Instagram, among other things. School district officials say that for now, she has been placed on administrative leave. 73-year-old Daniel McCullough of North Strabane has been charged with animal cruelty. Authorities say he used a ball-peen hammer to try and kill 2 of his 4 dogs. He says he lives in Angel Estates Mobile Home Park, and they only allow 2 dogs per resident. He hit them in the head, according to authorities, and then threw them in the trash. 1 died, but 1 did manage to escape and was found critically injured. And police here in Washington say they have arrested 60-year-old Patrick Thurston, whom they believe is responsible for a string of thefts around the city. He was on their Facebook page's Most Wanted. He faces a preliminary hearing later this month. Well, in case you hadn't noticed, you're paying more, a lot more, for grocery prices. Many and wondering where, if any, relief is ahead.
Food prices between July and August jumped 0.6%, the biggest monthly increase in 3 years. Grocery prices are now 2.7% higher than a year ago. Coffee prices are up nearly 21%, steaks up more than 16%, and bananas up more than 6%. And economists warn the impact of President Trump's tariffs could drive some prices even higher in the coming months.
That's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze reporting. Washington City Council members last night handed out promotions. WJPA's Joe Jasek has details.
City Council promoted several police officers and firefighters. Leading the list of police officer promotions was John Ritz. He was promoted to captain. Matt Karlowski was promoted to lieutenant. In the fire department, Chad Weir and Joe Wasick were promoted to engineer. Once again, Councilman Ken Westcott announced that the city is looking for individuals to fill vacancies on the city's zoning hearing board. It is a volunteer position and meets several months over the year as needed. Applications may be found with the city clerk, Michelle Spurl, at City Hall. For WJPA News, I'm Joe Jasek.
You probably remember Humpty Dumpty, right? He sat on a wall and then, he took a big fall. But this one beats that one. Police say they are hoping to crack the case. A colorful statue of the nursery rhyme icon was forcibly removed from a structure at a miniature golf course in Cape May, New Jersey. This happened on Sunday, and then Humpty Dumpty was dumped down the street. Police say they're looking for two men who were seen stopping at the Ocean Putt Golf at around 4 a.m. The video shows one of them grabbing and rocking the statue back and forth and then pouring poor Humpty Dumpty off of his foundation and then walking off with him. On Wall Street, the Dow closed down 273 this evening to 45,834. The S&P was off 3 to 6584, and the Nasdaq was up 98 to 22,141. In sports, college football tomorrow, it's the backyard brawl. Pitt traveling to Morgantown to take on the Mountaineers. Penn State hosts Villanova. And the Steelers' home opener is Sunday. Pittsburgh hosts the Seattle Seahawks. The game here on 1450 AM, and we'll have our coverage beginning at noon. Pirates are playing in the nation's capital this weekend. Your forecast, clear skies for the rest of the night. Overnight lows around 53. And then starting tomorrow, pretty much through the next week, we've got sunshine and temperatures in the lower to mid to upper 80s. Right now, 80 degrees at WJPA.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Radio and TV today are cluttered with ads for car insurance. You might find these ads clever, funny, or even annoying. Hi, I'm Scott Day from the Day Insurance Agency. We like to keep things simple. We will give you the best possible coverage at the best possible price with great hometown service without all those gimmicks. Call us to get a free no-obligation quote with Erie Insurance. You might be surprised how much you can save. That's the Day Insurance Agency, 724-228-3448, or online at dayinsurance.com.
Welcome to the PAC Football Report, covering Week 2 games of the 2025 season on September 13th. I'm Joe Underco. This week we will take a quick look back at the opening weekend on the gridiron in the President's Athletic Conference, while also previewing Week 2 games this Saturday. Defending league co-champion Grove City highlighted the slate with an impressive 31-14 road win at 2023 D3 National Champion Cortland. New St. Vincent coach Casey Goff earned the win in his Bearcat debut, 28-7 over Hilbert. In other action, Marietta edged Westminster 12-8, and Hiram fell at Heidelberg 65-27 on Thursday, while Teal dropped a 27-8 home final to Concordia, Wisconsin Friday. Other Saturday home finals included W&J falling to Utica 49-31, Bethany dropping a 41-6 final to Sewanee, Waynesburg defeated by John Carroll 48-14, and Allegheny losing 35-24 to Denison. Geneva fell on the road at Widener 44-18, while Case Western Reserve and Rowan finished in a lightning-shortened 17-17 tie. PAC Player of the Week honors in Week 1 went to St. Vincent Junior wideout Chris Downs with 100 receiving yards and 2 TDs versus Hilbert. Sophomore cornerback Noah Wheeler of Grove City was Defensive Player of the Week with 2 interceptions at Cortland, and Bethany sophomore punter Caden Langley was Special Teams honoree with a 46.3-yard punt average versus Sewanee. Top newcomer was Grove City freshman kicker punter Brady Lane who made all 5 kicks and averaged 40 yards per punt at Cortland. Highlighting the Week 2 slate is a pair of national powers, as 1-0 and 15th-ranked Grove City hosts last year's national runner-up, 1-0 and number 2 ranked Mount Union from the OAC at Thorne Field at 1 p.m. The Purple Raiders are 7-0-1 all-time against the Wolverines, but the teams have not met on the gridiron since a 30-14 Mount Union win back in 1979. Grove City head coach Andrew DiDonato previews this week's Division III heavyweight matchup.
When we knew we had 2 non-conference games, we decided right away that we wanted to find the best opponents in the country that we could play, and really just to see where we're at as a program and what it takes to win a national title or to play as a top team in the country. And obviously Mount Union is the standard. Just to get to play against such an elite program, we're just excited to see where our program's at.
Returning to the PAC as a full member for the first time since 1989, 0-1 Hiram hosts its first home game since returning to the league when they host 0-1 Oberlin from the NCAC at Henry Field in Hiram at 6 p.m. The Terriers faced their former conference opponents last season in Oberlin, with the Yeomen edging Hiram 20-17. First-year Hiram head coach Xavier Dupree talks about the excitement in his program as the Terriers rejoin the PAC.
Just to start something new, to see some different schools, different venues, things like that. Like I said, you have a lot of our alumni, older alumni who were in the pack and played in those games that are excited to see those rivalries and those games come back.
0-1 Geneva also opens its home schedule under the lights in Beaver Falls as the Golden Tornadoes host 1-0 Shenandoah from the ODAC at Reeves Field at 7 p.m. It's the first ever meeting on the gridiron between the two squads, with Shenandoah coming to town following a 25-6 season-opening victory over Methodist this past Saturday. Veteran GT head coach Gino DeMarco talks about the special night game environment that has developed for Geneva home contests through the years.
Playing Friday night football and high school football in this area is such a big emotional thing and a big draw in Western Pennsylvania. We just felt that having Saturday night games and creating an event, at that time we had over 100 member band. We do a lot of community type things to create an event.
In other Week 2 PAC gridiron action, all 8 other PAC teams play on the road, with 7 having 1 p.m. kickoffs. Allegheny at Juniata, Bethany at Kalamazoo, Case Western Reserve at Wabash, St. Vincent at Worcester, W&J at Hampton-Sydney, Waynesburg at Dickinson, and Westminster at Franklin and Marshall. Teal also plays on the road with a 3 p.m. kickoff at Adrian. That's all for this edition of the PAC Football Report. Log on to the conference website at www.pacathletics.org all season long for the latest news, scores, statistics, and other league information. You can also follow us on social media via X, Facebook, and Instagram. Links are available at the PAC website. I'm Joe Underko. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the stadium.
Whether in the stands or watching from home, show your team spirit with custom printing from Quality Quick. They are your local partner for vinyl banners, fan apparel, and yard signs to help celebrate your home team. Quality Quick has been a proud print supplier for local schools and boosters in the community since 1978. Don't just watch the game, be part of it. Call 724-225-9427 or visit qualquick.com.
Alex Paris Contracting has been in business since 1928. They're in the heart of the Marcellus Shale on Route 18 in Atlasburg. Call Alex Paris for any contracting job, sewer, water, civil, or any oil and gas project. With over 600 pieces of heavy equipment, over 400 employees, all support equipment, and separate environmental company, they'll adapt and complete any project. Call Alex Paris Contracting, 724-947-2235. Learn more at alexparis.com.
Chartiers-Houston coming back out onto the field here, trailing Fort Cherry 37-0 here at the halftime break.
Not the first team that's done that this year.
No, I mean, Fort Cherry has, coming into this game, had outscored opponents 144-14.
Right.
And they're just going to rack that up even more here tonight. See what the Bucks can do. We'll have a running clock in this second half. We'll see Fort Cherry next week. You and I won't be there. We're headed to Cannon Mac for WJPA as Mount Lebo visits the Big Macs. But Monessen Fort Cherry is next week, and we'll have that game on WJPA FM. Bob Gregg and Jack Sacco headed there. This Fort Cherry team is the real deal. But now for Chartiers-Houston, you got to come out here and put something together, because you got to get your act together for next week.
Well, they got to kick it off too.
That's true. Fort Cherry's going to get the ball.
Fort Cherry's going to get the ball right off the bat. I suspect that after the first series or two, that we may see a lot of numbers that we're not used to seeing. They'll get some young kids in because they don't have a whole lot of time to play football with a running clock.
That's right. The Buccaneers go to Burgettstown next week for another conference matchup. Some halftime scores of interest over on WJPA FM. Bob Gregg and Jack Sacco have the call of Wash High at Waynesburg. At the break, the Little Prexies have a 21-7 lead over Waynesburg. Peters Township leading Trinity 20-0 at the break. And keep watching this team, especially for Fort Cherry. Clareton putting it up on Greensburg Central Catholic, a 30-0 lead at the halftime break for the Clareton Bears. Of course, Fort Cherry had to come back in the fourth quarter to beat Clareton 21-20 in the WPIL championship game a season ago. Fort Cherry making a case that they could very likely be back at Acrisure Stadium come November.
Well, they certainly have the talent. There's no question. They just eliminate mistakes, but they also have that talent that you can overcome some mistakes, if you're in that situation. So the ability to come back, the ability to continue on that winning streak, attributable to a good job with the coaching staff, but also a number of talented players that they have to coach.
A 21-6 lead for Beth Center over Carmichael's in Tri-County South action. Also in Tri-County South action, Jefferson Morgan. Telling you, this team is something to watch. 57-0 over Mapletown at halftime. 57 points. The Maples taking a beating tonight at the hands of the Jefferson Morgan Rockets. There is an issue with the play clock here. We mentioned that at the end of the first half, not running the play clock, so that will be kept on the field. We'll see what kind of second string comes out here for Fort Cherry. I assume we're going to see some of those backups get those young people a chance to get in the football game here.
You won't see them until after the first or second series, so those starters will play that first and second series. But I did get a rundown of the clock. The clock is just skipping numbers. It's keeping the correct time, but it might jump from 20 to 17, but you still have 20 seconds on the clock. And rather than deal with that and have to deal with it from a playing standpoint, we're going to keep it on the field and not worry about it.
I'm not sure which one's more beneficial, quite honestly, to not be able to see it or see it and it be wrong.
Well, if it's speeding you up, probably not a good idea if you're trying to eliminate those mistakes. But having the back judge or the field judge just hold their hand up when there's 10 seconds to go for the quarterback should be able to control that. As long as he can figure out who the back judge or the field judge is.
A beautiful night for football here in southwestern Pennsylvania. It's not a beautiful night for the Chartiers-Houston Buccaneers, but they'll try to make the most out of it here in this second half. Do want to remind you that here on WJPA AM 1450 in Washington, we'll have the NFL preview tomorrow morning, NFL Insider, the fantasy forecast, all of that tomorrow morning leading into Pirates baseball at 3:40. We'll have Steelers football here on the air. I think I mentioned earlier that we were going to have WJ and the Presidents have the week off. So Chartiers-Houston comes out to kick this ball away, trailing 37-0 as we start this third quarter. Back deep to receive for Fort Cherry. Salvini on the far side. And on the near side, if he turns towards me, I'm going to assume that's Christian Unosco. Zura tees up the ball at the 40, and we have the second half underway. They'll stay away from those weapons and just a squib kick up the middle. And Fort Cherry covers it at the 38-yard line, and should have ourselves a rolling clock for this football game.
Just a little squib kick up the far hash mark, and Fort Cherry falls on it, covers it.
So we'll see what Fort Cherry's going to do. As Bill said, Matt Sig's still out there, going to run a series or two here in this second half. 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line, leading 37-0 as we get this second half underway. And the clock rolls. Man comes in motion, and somebody jumped on the right side of that Fort Cherry line, it looks like.
Right tackle. Right tackle got out of his stance a little bit as the man went in motion, so it's illegal motion.
I think it was Dylan.
Or illegal procedure.
Dylan Luke.
1st and 15.
Sig from the gun. The sidecar to his left. 2 receivers near side. 1st and 15 after the penalty before the ball was snapped. Sig takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to pass, has time, delivers a strike up the far sideline, and that's intercepted. Chartiers-Houston picks the ball off.
Sig's pass intercepted by number 8.
A great interception by Brody McCreary. He had the 48-yard reception early on offense, and look at this. Picks off the man, Matt Sig, on the first play of the second half.
McCreary, nice job on the fade route down the far side. Was right in the hip pocket of the receiver, and the ball a little bit underthrown. Threw it right at him, and basically McCreary ran the route, caught the football, and got wrapped up right away. But nice way to start the second half.
And the clock winds, and that gives Chartiers-Houston a little pep in their step. Bucks come out 5 wide. Running clock here, trailing 37-0. 3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top. Aaron Walsh from the gun, all by himself, takes the snap, looks to pass, scrambles to the right side, to the far sideline, and that pass was caught there just at the 38-yard line. Pass complete to Julius Livingston.
I don't think it was complete. I think he was out of bounds.
Was he out of bounds?
Can't tell by the replay. I don't think he caught it. I think it went off his fingertips. But brings up second down.
So incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10. Thank you, Bill. I'm getting attacked by all these bugs.
Better you than me.
I thought last week was bad. At Montour. 5 wide once again for Aaron Walsh. And Chartiers-Houston looks to pass deep down the right side, looking for Livingston again, and that pass incomplete. Overthrew Livingston a bit, but off the fingertips, knocked away by Nicholas Massey of Fort Cherry.
Man-to-man across the board for Fort Cherry, and a spy on Walsh, trying to make sure he doesn't run with the football if he can't get rid of it. And they run the fade route again down the far side. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down.
Clock keeps rolling. 3rd down and 10, 37-0. Chartiers-Houston just looking for anything, some kind of points to put on the board here against Fort Cherry. 5 wide once again, and the Buccaneers are going to use a timeout. We'll take 1-2. 9:14 to play in the 3rd quarter. 37-0. Fort Cherry lead Chartiers-Houston. We're back in a moment on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
This is Eric Cushy from Curtis Pharmacy. We don't sign every insurance contract out there. We don't participate in every network. And what we've come to realize is if we take our invoice cost on generic drugs at a fair dispense fee, we can save you money depending on the medication. No insurance, no middlemen, You have a prescription, you pay us, you're done. If you take generic drugs, this program's for you. Go to our website at curtispharmacy.com, click the Dare to Compare link, and feel free to look up your medication, see how much we could save you.
You deserve a bank that lifts up your business, that shares your spirits, and your taste for success. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on crafting solutions that are as one of a kind as your business is. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Out of the timeout. 37-0. It's 3rd down and 10. Chartiers-Houston looking for a little offense. Aaron Walsh, the quarterback from the gun, has Luba to his left, scrambles out to his left, looking to pass under some pressure. Avoids one would-be tackler. Gets a little block there. Might have been a peel back block, but and the flag, was that a flag that came out there?
I did not see it.
There's a flag that comes out at the 35-yard line. We'll see what this is. Looks like this might be a peel back block. See what the call is. There's a scramble for Walsh, and he ended up picking up about 3 yards after all of that. The flag came in late, well after that, so I'm not sure it's on the block or if somebody else just didn't pull the flag out. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but definitely was an outside-in block. But not sure what they're talking about.
A referee walking out here now. Is he going to make a call or is he going to come talk to somebody? And here it is. Personal foul, there it is. Yep. And that goes against Chartiers-Houston. Let's watch that one more time. No question about it. Under pressure, Walsh trying to avoid. Boom, there's the big block. Had a face full of Troy Rave.
A couple years ago, that would have been legal.
Yeah, you're right. And now the clock gets wound here. And now it gets stopped again. Did they mark the penalty off too much? Where are we going? Did Fort Cherry not accept that penalty? They say give it back to him?
I don't know.
Yeah, declined. Penalty was declined. White hat came out there right there. We missed it off the screen. But so Fort Cherry says, no, don't do that to him. It's 4th down and 8. And Chartiers-Houston going to punt the ball away. Again, we've had some rough punts from the Bucks. This one bounces at the 50-yard line.
Usually, again, when you got to get a punter ready for after a week, I'm not sure who the backup punter was or even if they had one.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Tegan Bogdan hurt last week in the game against Mapletown. Good wide receiver for this team and the kicker for this Chartiers-Houston team. And the punting game is certainly going to be a problem for the Buccaneers if they can't figure that out. As Fort Cherry's first string stays on the field, up 37-0 after the Matt Sig interception. Comes back out, handoff in the backfield. Ionesco slips out of one tackle. Here goes Ionesco. He has guys in front of him. Across the 10, the 5, touchdown. Christian Ionesco, 48 yards for the score.
Again, inside handoff, right off the edge. Nobody around, able to outrun everybody else. Got some good blocking downfield. Touchdown.
48 yards, one play after that punt, and it's 43-0 with the extra point pending here from Nicholas Massey. Extra point up, and extra point is good. Under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. It's now 43 Fort Cherry over Chartiers-Houston on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
We go into individuals' homes and provide non-medical care for mainly senior citizens, but also people with disabilities.
For Sunny Days In-Home Care, John Bennett.
We do stuff like bathing, grooming, meal preparation, take people to doctor's appointments. If someone needs a little bit of assistance to help them stay in their home instead of going into a facility, and we like to come in and be the people that do that for them.
Sunny Days In-Home Care, providing compassionate care for your loved one in the comfort of their home. Find out more, sunnydaysinhomecare.com.
Imperial Land Corporation is proud to be developing real estate in Washington and Allegheny counties. Over 3,000 acres can accommodate any size development. The nearly 900-acre Fort Cherry Development District along PA 576 is prime commercial real estate minutes from the Pittsburgh Airport and I-79. Visit imperialland.com or call 412-424-0495 for development opportunities. Good luck to the Fort Cherry Rangers from Imperial Land Corporation.
44-0 after the extra point. Fort Cherry leading the Buccaneers. It's been all Fort Cherry. Again, another one-play drive, and the Rangers add on. Massey in for the kickoff. And taken by Livingston at the 10-yard line. Livingston to the near side and taken out of bounds. Another short return just across the 20 to the 23. And again, the Buccaneers will
put a player down on the sideline from Fort Cherry.
Oh yeah, right here, in front of right at the 25-yard line where that tackle was made.
Kind of fielded the ball and was able to get up the field a little bit, and then gets punched out of bounds right about the 25-yard line.
Helmets off there on the injured player of Fort Cherry. So we can take a look at the schedule ahead for these two teams. Coming up for Chartiers-Houston at Burgettstown next week, for they host Bishop Canevin, then at Monessen. Next three games for Fort Cherry. Home, back-to-back against Monessen, and then Burgettstown, and then at Cornell, as the injured player gets a round of applause as he steps up and hustles off the field under his own power. That's good for Locke Zilic. He runs. Issue maybe with the shoulder or so.
Jogs off a little bit.
So 7.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. A 44-0 lead for Fort Cherry. Glad to have you along here on the WJPA Sports Network. WJPA AM 1450, online WJPA.com. I'm Nate Rigotti, Bill Duquette. Thanks to our producer, Brandon Bennett here, running the controls on the video. Cam Pritz and Joey Cipoletti upstairs. And our producer in our downtown Washington studios, our friend Jacob Knisner. First and 10 now for Chartiers-Houston at the 25-yard line.
Let's see if they can get something going.
Wind the clock once again. Had to punt the ball the last time they had it. They hustle out onto the field now. Aaron Walsh from the gun. A couple of new guys in there as well. Man comes in motion to the near side. Walsh takes the snap, under pressure once again, nowhere to go, and he is sacked. A big one at that. Christian Yanasco all over him.
Walsh sacked by number 12, Christian Yanasco.
Walsh took the snap from center and tried to sprint to his left, and nobody was blocked to the side that he was going, and he just ran into a couple white jerseys, and we have another Fort Cherry player down at the 30-yard line.
That was a loss of 13 on that play, and Fort Cherry now, it's like they're getting a cramp here. Somebody's getting a cramp. I hope that's all it is as they address those legs, but man, you can just feel the disappointment in Chartiers-Houston. You can see they're not focused and playing right now. I mean, you're down 44-0. It's hard to be.
Well, you got to be, though. You're playing. You got a whole half to play, whether it's a running clock or not. You do all that practicing all week. you might as well get a reward out of it.
Yeah.
And your reward is to play a game.
Gavin Grace limping off the field now for Fort Cherry. Loss of 13, that is, on that sack. Brings up 2nd down and 23 for the Buccaneers.
Second and long.
Ball at the 13-yard line. Handoff to Luba up the middle. Luba back across the 15. Dives towards the 20. That's where they'll spot him down at the 20-yard line.
Luba made a little inside handoff that time and made a couple moves to get up the field. Showed a little quickness.
Gain of about 7 there. Still 3rd down and about 14.
I guess I'll say it again. 3rd and long.
They get 3rd down and 15. Walsh from the gun has Luba behind him. 3 receivers to the right. Looks to pass. Has some time in the pocket. Delivers one. Has a man behind the defense, and it's overthrown. He had Dadrian Walls, but it's just too far.
Fade route again to the near side. Ball just a little overthrown. The ball got from 10, 20, 30, 40, almost 50 yards in the air. But just a couple yards too long.
Brings up 4th down and 15. Ball at their own 20-yard line for Chartiers-Houston. I assume the punt team back on. And I think we're going to have if they're punting, this is a different punter than what they've been using. Brody McCreary going to try to punt this one. They have been using Chami Zora. And now it's Brady McCreary back there to punt. So, lost your punter last week. Punt game has not been strong. This one much better than what we've seen from Chartiers-Houston. McCreary gets that one bouncing at the 45 and will roll and be picked up at the 39-yard line of Fort Cherry. 4:18 to play in the 3rd quarter. 44-0. Fort Cherry leading Chartiers-Houston here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
This is Coach Guy Montecalvo for the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, here to invite you to become a member of our chapter and help celebrate the stories of these outstanding athletes, coaches, and teams. For just $10, you'll have the opportunity to vote for respected athletes, coaches, and teams of yesteryear as we recognize these sports figures for their contributions to our rich athletic tradition. We're the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. Find us online or hit us up on Facebook and be a part of something exceptional.
Fort Cherry offense back out onto the field, leading 44-0 with 4 minutes and counting. 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. We do have a new quarterback in there, and there's a problem on the exchange, and Fort Cherry dropped for a loss.
I think the snap was a little bit low. He wasn't able to pick it up, and he did manage to give it to the back so the back could get tackled, not him.
Colton Smith in there as quarterback now, and he might have gotten hurt as he continues to win. This is the 3rd Fort Cherry injury. They're leading 44-0, but 3rd stoppage in the last 2 minutes of action here is Colton Smith, who just came in, the sophomore. Came in as the backup quarterback here for Matt Sigg, who has ended his night. And another injury. Wow. That's what you don't want to see.
No.
Big game, it's a blowout, it's over.
You're trying to get, at least you don't have your first team quarterback in there.
Right. That's right.
But you hate to see kids get injured like that.
So again, the 3rd injury in last 2 minutes or so of play here, and all of them on the Fort Cherry side, and now able to get up is Colton Smith. Smith will walk back over to the sideline. I don't know if did they spot the ball? Where was a loss there on that bad exchange?
I'm sure they spotted it, but it's been moved around a couple times.
There, they finally
since they put it down. Yeah,
put it down there. Loss of, call it 6 yards on 1st down.
This is the slowest running clock I've seen in a while.
I was thinking the same thing. Under 3.5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
That's the difference. I'll say it. Yeah, you can think it.
That's right.
You're the professional.
No, you've just been around a lot longer. You get a lot more grace. So now who's in here at quarterback? It's Joseph Barna. Barna scrambling out to his left, puts his head down, and he's going to be brought down at about the 30-yard line.
Barna tried to get outside to the far side, but a lot of maroon jerseys up the field. We're able to corral him and finally bring him down.
I think the stick guys are out of the game, too, because the guy who's supposed to be marking the ball is still at the original line of scrimmage. It's another loss. The first down marker is at the 49. The ball was spotted at the 30. This is 3rd down and 19 after another loss here by Fort Cherry. Second string in here for the Rangers. Again, leading 44-0 with 2.5 minutes to play in the third quarter and a running clock. Barna, the quarterback, running out to the left side, and nowhere to go for him as Chartiers-Houston takes him out of bounds. It'll bring up 4th down.
This may be the first punting situation for Fort Cherry in the game.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It will be the first time we've seen the Rangers have to punt in this ball game.
Clock moving at 1:56. And we're in the third quarter, not the fourth.
Feels like the fourth. But yes, it's been a long running clock. You're right about that. Fourth and long. Fort Cherry is not exactly in a punt formation here, are they? Got to get to the 49-yard line. Ball's at the 32, and it's a quick kick. And it's blocked! Chartiers-Houston blocks the quick kick. The Buccaneers scrambling for it. It won't matter. It keeps going backwards. And Chartiers-Houston covers it up at about the 5-yard line. And that's where the Bucs cover it up and will get the possession there. Now, a fumble can't go backwards. And now we have another injury, this one of Chartiers-Houston.
There was never any possession of the
That's
football.
Right.
They were trying to pick it up, unable to grab a hold of it. Then finally we were able to grab a hold of it. And number 77, Braden Thompson, who ended up with the football, is down on the field, and now he's up.
Let me see that again as he gets up. Watch, is it number 22? It is. Levy who works his way in there to block that quick kick.
The quarterback or the kicker who had kicked that has to be a lot deeper than that and still make it look like a shotgun snap. But he was much too close to the line of scrimmage, and Chartiers was able to get a hand on it and hit his hand and arm just right to knock it backwards.
Well, the ball now spotted at the 3-yard line for Chartiers-Houston. Washington 35, Waynesburg 7 with 8 minutes left. How can a game that's not in a mercy rule be going quicker than ours? 4 injuries for timeouts here with a running clock. Now, Chartiers-Houston starts this possession at the Fort Cherry 3-yard line after the blocked punt attempt by the Rangers. Opportunity here for Chartiers-Houston to put some points on the board. Handoff goes to Levy. He blocked the kick. He gets the touchdown. Buccaneers on the board.
He was pretty quick inside run, did a nice job up inside. The offensive line did a good job knocking people off the football, and he ends up scoring. And if I have to say so, the offensive line got him that touchdown. They were all in the end zone.
Under a minute remaining in this third quarter, and Chartiers-Houston has put some points on the board. Just the third touchdown that Fort Cherry has allowed all season. And on to kick the extra point again is Zura, and that kick is up, and that kick is good. Less than a minute remaining in the third quarter. Fort Cherry 44, Chartiers-Houston 7 here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
Friday night lights bring our community together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm Commissioner Electra Janis, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential helpline today at 724-228-1234. That's 724-228-1234. Together, we can fight addiction and build a stronger future for Washington County.
So the Buccaneers get on the board, a blocked punt attempt on the quick kick. Ball goes bounding all the way back to the 3-yard line, where Chartiers-Houston covers it, and Levi punches it in from 3 yards out for the first score of the game for Chartiers-Houston, but trailing 44-7. And
we're going to see where Chartiers-Houston maybe try an onside kick. Now, they squibbed the ball the last time. I don't know who's kicking off. But I'm sure they're going to squib it, I think.
And here's the kick, and they do squib it. Taken by the up back there, Ethan Weinbrenner. And Fort Cherry will start this possession at about the 41-yard line.
At their own 41-yard line.
Just a little squib to the near side. Weinbrenner ends up getting the ball with the 1 minute mark, and after everybody piled on and did it, we still had 1 minute to play.
Wow, how about that? So Fort Cherry takes over, 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line, leading 44-7. Quarterback remains Joe Barna, and Barna hands this ball off. That goes to Zachary Rodriguez, who plunges forward for maybe a yard. We'll see where they spot it. Didn't get much there.
Good push up the field defensively from Chartiers-Houston.
Just trying to get to the end of the third quarter here. And
I think we may get to the end before plays call here.
Yeah, I'm thinking Fort Cherry does not have to snap this ball. They line up over it. 5 seconds now on the clock, and we are just going to bring it to the end of the third quarter. Fort Cherry 44, Chartiers-Houston 7. The fourth quarter coming up next here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
At Slovenian Savings and Loan, they understand you want convenience. That's why their mobile banking app allows you to bank from anywhere, anytime. They also know there's no substitute for personal, one-on-one service from someone who cares about you and your family. Founded on honesty, integrity, and trust in 1925, and that will never change. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. Slovenian Savings and Loan on Boone Avenue in Strabane. SlovenianSavingsandLoan.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Join the team at Schweinebraten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebraten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebraten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
We head to the fourth quarter. Sweet Caroline playing here at Chartiers-Houston. Fort Cherry has the ball, leading 44-7. Second down and 9 from their own 43-yard line. Barna, the quarterback now. He's the third-string quarterback. Hands it off to Rodriguez, and Rodriguez, open gap up the middle, across the 50 to the 40, and down short of the 35-yard line. Ball had popped out, but officials say that he was down.
Again, the inside zone play. And Rodriguez broke it right up the middle of the formation, right up the middle of the field. Put his shoulder down at the end of the run, got a couple more yards. Gives him good field position and a first down.
First and 10 now from the 32-yard line. Barna from the gun has a guy to his left. Two receivers to the near side. Here's the snap, handed off. Around the right side, across the 35 now, down close to the 30. Getting that handoff, I believe, is Jordan Bianchi.
Again, the inside handoff just to go into the other side. One of the things that Fort Cherry is doing is they're bleeding the clock for as much as they can, and it's one of the reasons I'm not real thrilled with the running the clock after the 35. And the reason for that is that the kids that are playing now don't get a chance to play.
Yeah.
You know, they get, for lack of a better word, cheated out of time that they could have been playing, football.
Gain of 7 on first down brings up 2nd down and 3. Barna from the gun. Hands it off to Rodriguez. Rodriguez brings it to the near side, to the 30, and he's spun down there after a gain of just 1. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for Fort Cherry at the Chartiers-Houston 29-yard line.
Adrian Walls, senior 5'8", 178 pounds, ran him down and got him from behind before he turned the corner. So good job by him. 3rd down and about 2.
3rd down and 2 from the Chartiers-Houston 29. Ball spot on the near hash. Rangers moving from right to left. Under 10 minutes to play in the ball game. Rangers leading 44-7. Barna with Rodriguez to his right, Bianchi to his left. And it's Rodriguez who gets the call. Rodriguez will have enough for the first down across the 25-yard line, and that will move the sticks.
Good job. Good push that time by the offensive line. Ends up picking up the first down.
Zachary Rodriguez, 5'8", 145-pound sophomore. The cheerleaders are having fun down there.
Well,
Two receivers to the far side this time for Fort Cherry, one to the near side. Barna from the gun, Rodriguez to his right, and Bianchi to his left once again. Same formation. Here's the snap. Rodriguez gets the call again. Slips off of one tackler at the line of scrimmage. Plows forward across the 15-yard line. Gain of about 6 on first down.
Somebody had him behind the line of scrimmage, and I thought he was going to bring him down, and he just kind of slipped out of the tackle and was unable to bring him down. Ends up getting pretty good yardage.
2nd down and 4 at the 15-yard line. Sticks with move again at the 11. Some wholesale changes for Fort Cherry. A couple of guys coming out, new guys running in. Everybody getting a little bit of the action tonight.
Well, their coaching staff's doing a good job in terms of getting people in and out. I kind of figured that's what would happen. First unit played the first series, one play, and the rest of that time, next time they're out.
Barna from the gun once again. And swallowed up in the backfield. Zura's all over him. Handoff went to Adam Smith, and nowhere for him to go. Loss of 4 on the play. Big tackle by Zura.
Tommy DeZura gets up the field, sees an opening, gets up the field, and makes the tackle for the loss.
3rd down and 8. Are you sighing at me, or are you trying to get bugs out of you?
Trying to get bugs out of my mouth.
3rd down and 8 now for Fort Cherry. Ball at the Chartiers-Houston 19-yard line. Handoff again, and nowhere to go for Adam Smith.
Adam Smith brought down immediately.
Another loss, and it's 4th down.
Number 10, Tommy DeZura.
DeZura just made another tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Actually from behind, just came up the field. Made the stop.
4th down and 11. Ball at the 22. And Fort Cherry lines up to go for it here. 6:40 to play with a rolling clock in the 4th quarter. Handoff goes to Rodriguez this time. and he's going to be stopped short. He'll just get a couple of yards here. It'll be a turnover on downs. Chartiers-Houston will take over.
Tried to run the inside zone play, but he bounced it to the near side and couldn't get outside, couldn't get off the edge, and Chartiers makes the tackle and takes the football.
And a timeout. Was there a timeout taken? There is. Fort Cherry uses a timeout. We'll keep it here. A couple of scores coming in as well. In Wash High 35, Waynesburg 7. Sets up the Prexies for a chance at another Century Conference title. Some finals coming in. Brentwood 42, Springdale nothing. Alderdice 40, Uniontown nothing. Montour 41, Knock 8. Clarenton 43, Greensburg Central Catholic nothing. Quips tie it up. Mars was leading Aliquippa at halftime 6-0, but they just scored early part of the fourth quarter to make it 6-6.
Have you been to a game at Aliquippa?
Not since they redid the field.
Well, you know, I'd give the ball to that horse every time. I don't think anybody can tackle that horse, I'll be honest with you.
They did get a lot of investment up there at that facility.
It's really nice. Getting ready to wind the clock, and the whistle winds it.
6:13 to play. First and 10 now for Chartiers-Houston after the turnover on downs. Handoff goes to Levi. He fights for everything he can get, but wrapped up quickly. Good tackle by Fort Cherry's Luke Zilich. Gain of about 2. We'll call it second down and 8.
Not a whole lot of running room off the left side. Just kind of handed it to him. He kind of bounced around and fell forward for 2 yards.
Now, you like the games at Aliquippa or like the Wolverine? Is there a favorite facility you like? Something cool about atmosphere?
Yeah, if there's a football game going on, I kind of like any facility I'm at. Yeah.
Second down and 8. 5.5 to play. And off again goes to Levi. Tries to find a hole on the left side. Ridden down after a gain of 4 or so. Ball up to the 30-yard line. It'll be third down for Chartiers-Houston with 2 yards to go.
Got to chunk of that yardage back and make it manageable. One of the things I did do, Nate, is that since my grandson plays soccer, is that I see a lot of football stadiums for soccer games.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the I've been to a couple places where I haven't been before. So see me about 2 years.
Okay.
I'll probably see them all then.
Doing the circuit for soccer.
Yeah.
Third down and 2. Levi gets the call once again to the left side. He has the first down and more across the 40-yard line, across the 45, and taken down after moving the sticks for the Chartiers-Houston Buccaneers.
Again, nice job on the corner out there. He was able to break it on the edge, get down the far sideline, picks up the first down and more. Clock running, 4:28.
Very excited. My cousins, our cameraman Cam Pritz is upstairs. His sister, full ride to Robert Morris to play soccer after graduating from Yonk. She got in her first game for the Colonials.
Nice.
This week. Very happy for her. First and 10 now from their own 46-yard line for Chartiers-Houston. Fake the handoff to Levi, and oh my goodness, Rodriguez misses the sack. Still running with it is Elijah Hoy.
He's got some running room.
Look, he brings it to the near side. Look at Elijah Hoy go to the 25-yard line and out of bounds. He should have been sacked on the far side. Rodriguez missed the tackle, and Hoy makes something out of it.
He made the same spin move that Walsh made and a big play that he threw the ball on. He started to go left and just wheeled around and came back to the near side. Was able to outrun the edge player and picked up some blocking on the way down the field. And he picks up a big gain, putting the ball at the 25-yard line of Fort Cherry.
A broken play leads to a 29-yard gain for Chartiers-Houston. 3:15 to play in the ball game, trailing 44-7, but the Bucks, second string out there, trying to make something happen. Hoy again from the gun. Hands this one off to Levi. Left side. Gets a nice block. Gets around the 20. Still on his feet. How did he break out of that tackle? Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Inside handoff off the left side. Got to the second level. Made contact with the defender. Spun a little bit and ran right out of the grasp of the second level defender and gets into the end zone for the touchdown.
Stops the clock with under 3 minutes to play. Second touchdown of the game for the Chartiers-Houston Buccaneers. Fort Cherry in their first 3 games had only allowed 14 total points. The second string of Chartiers-Houston putting up a couple of touchdowns. Levi's second of the night. That one a 30-yarder. The first one, I'll tell you what, he's come here in the second half of the running clock, got some playing time, has the block kick as the extra point is up and good. Levi had the block kick. It was recovered at the 3. He punched it in. Now he has the big play from 30 yards out to make it 44-14.
Great job with the football that time for Chartiers.
Final, Washington 35, Waynesburg 14. Big win for the Little Prexies. Some people thought that Waynesburg might give them a run for their money after beating them last year.
That is a big win for them. .257 on the clock.
Trying to find Avonworth led Thomas Jefferson, leads 41-14. Sorry, Avonworth leading Thomas Jefferson 41-14. How many times you see TJ get blown out like that? That Avonworth team is something special.
Some of the people that I talked to over the last 2 days said that Avonworth had a chance to play real well against TJ, and it looks like that's what they're doing.
Kickoff covered up at the 39-yard line. So Fort Cherry's offense will come back out. Seen 2 backup quarterbacks. Colton Smith came out, got hurt on the first play. We've seen Joe Barna ever since. Big game for Matt Sig. Sig with a touchdown run from 26 yards out, 2 passing touchdowns, an 18-yarder to Nick Massey, and the 60-yard screen to Turnavsky. First and 10 from their own 39-yard line. And there goes the clock. High snap, handled well. And off to the right side. Enough for the first down across the 50-yard line. I believe that is Adam Smith.
He left a defender standing there watching him. He went right around him. Nice little move, right about the line of scrimmage. He basically bounced it to the outside and was able to pick up some more yardage after breaking a couple tackles.
It's to the Chartiers-Houston 47-yard line. First and 10 now for Fort Cherry. Approaching the 2-minute mark. 44-14, a big win for the Rangers. Barna hands it off again to Smith. Smith bringing it to the near side. He's wrapped up and ridden to the ground. Good tackle there. 26 on 26. It's Jonathan Cordolillo.
Very tackled by number 26, Jonathan Cordolillo.
Cordolillo.
What did I say, Cordolillo?
Whatever. Cordolillo.
Well, I want to say it right.
Cordolillo, and he did a nice job coming up. When he made contact, the defender went backwards, and that's the way you want to tackle.
Been watching too much Stitch with my 2-year-old. Final 80 seconds. Second down and 11 for Fort Cherry. They're just taking up as much time as they can. They'll have to snap it at least 2 more times, and there's the kneel down. Rangers dominate this one. Chartiers-Houston gets 2 touchdowns in the second half to avoid the goose egg, but all the damage had already been done. 37-0 halftime lead. A quick touchdown in the third quarter to make it 44-0. Chartiers-Houston with some second-string touchdowns, but it was all Fort Cherry here tonight. The Rangers going to win their 32nd straight WPIL game. There are only 2 losses in the last 2 seasons, plus the beginning of this one. We're in the state quarterfinals, the state championship and the state semifinals. Final kneel down for the Rangers. They'll run off the field. Final score tonight, 44-14. The Rangers pound the Chartiers-Houston Buccaneers. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll name our Washington County College Center CCBC player of the game. We'll recap this one for you in a moment here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by the CNX Foundation.
My dream field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My dream field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My dream field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
Final score, Fort Cherry 44, Chartiers-Houston 14. Big game for a couple of the big players we expected. Fort Cherry just comes out. Their drives, big plays, quick scores, able to capitalize off a fumble. A safety in this game. Eli Salvini fumbled at the 2-yard line, set up a safety by Matt Sigg. It was 2-0. Right off that kickoff, Eli Salvini, a 67-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Chartiers-Houston had to punt, already trailing 9-0. Matt Sigg hit Nick Massey for an 18-yard touchdown score, extra point, made it 16-0. Chartiers-Houston put a nice drive together. They were only down 2 scores, a 16-0 game. They drive down the field, pick up 4 first downs, but they fumble the ball away inside the 20-yard line. It was just a couple of plays later when Matt Sigg hit Ternavsky on a 60-yard screen pass to make it 23-0, yet another touchdown. Chartiers-Houston punted the ball away. Matt Sigg did it again. 26-yard touchdown score. This one with his legs made it 30-0 after the extra point. Chartiers-Houston had to turn the ball over on downs. And then Eli Salvini, another touchdown, this one from 2 yards out as he punched it in with 2 minutes remaining in that first half. It was 37-0 at halftime. Second half, first string stays out there for Fort Cherry, and it's Christian Yanosco who scores on the very first play after Chartiers-Houston had to punt it away. 49-yard touchdown score made it 44-0. Levi for Chartiers-Houston got 2 touchdowns there after the mercy rule clock was already running, but just another big game for Fort Cherry. The players showed up that you always expect, especially Matt Sigg, your quarterback, who you need to.
Well, you know, you got to in any game you need your best player to perform well, and they certainly had that. But he had help tonight.
Certainly had help.
He had help from a couple different people, and defensively able to bottle up Walsh for the most part, and not allow him to make those big plays down the field.
Speaking of help, it's time to name our player of the game, brought to you by the Washington County College Center, operated by the Community College of Beaver County.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advanced from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Our Washington County College Center player of the game, Eli Salvini, had the big 67-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Also had the 2-yard score, played very well defensively. He's our player of the game.
Yep. The could have named a couple.
Yeah.
But when everybody contributes on the same night, you got to pick one, and that's who we come up with.
Fort Cherry improves to 4-0 on the season. Chartiers-Houston falls to 2-2. The Buccaneers visit Burgettstown next week, and the Rangers will host Monessen. That should be a great game. We'll have it for you on WJPA FM 95.3. Bill, always a pleasure being with you, my friend. A blowout game isn't always the fun one to watch, but boy, I'm impressed by Fort Cherry.
Well, they've got a good football team, and they have to just keep it up, and we'll see where they are at the end of the school year.
We'll see you next week, my friend. You and I at Cannon Mac for Mount Lebanon.
I'll be there.
6A football. Tonight's broadcast on the WJPA Sports Network has been presented by CNX Dreamfields, making your dream field come true. By Schwani Broughton Bus Lines, the shiniest school buses in town, and they're looking for drivers like you. By Washington County Human Services. Take the first step towards a healthier life. Call 724-228-1234. By Slovenian Savings and Loan, big enough to serve, small enough to care. By the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, celebrating our region's rich athletic tradition. By Imperial Land Corporation, supporting the Fort Cherry Rangers. By Sunny Days In-Home Care, providing compassionate care in the comfort of home. SunnyDaysInHomeCare.com. By Washington Financial Bank, for 125 years, proud to be the bank that gets you. By Curtis Pharmacy in Washington, Claysville, Connellsville, Carmichaels, and online at curtispharmacy.com. By Alex Paris Contracting, a commitment to quality and service exceeding expectations. By Quality Quick Printing, your Team Spirit printing headquarters since 1978, online qualquick.com. By The Day Insurance Agency, on East Main Street in Washington, on Main Street in Hickory, online dayinsurance.com, celebrating more than a half century of service. And by the Washington County College Center, operated by the Community College of Beaver County. Thanks to our crew here, Brandon Bennett, our producer, our cameramans upstairs, Cam Pritz and Joey Cipoletti. Thanks to our producer in our downtown Washington studios, Jacob Knisner. For my partner, Bill Duquette, I'm Nate Rigotti, signing off from Buccaneer Stadium. Tonight, the Fort Cherry Rangers defeat the Bucs 44-14. We'll see you next week here on the WJPA Sports Network.